Folks, welcome to the North American Challenger Elite Stage 3, Day 3, and we're hopping in with Electrify Steel versus 705 Esports right off the bat. My name is Seymour. Alongside me is Cruz and Jesse. I'm ready to get things going. Day 3 North America. Let's get into it.
We're back. Hopefully we get to cast more than 150 seconds of a hard point this week before we get DDoSed off the servers. That's just the goal, right? that we need to live off by. But you know what? Day 2 went a lot better for NA last week. Let's hope Day 3 for me and you today. We're rocking and we're rolling and already off to a very, very kind of scrappy start here. Right off the rip, 705 will finally get control of the hill as Royalty pops a nice little two-piece. But I mean, this is a very, very scrappy first hill.
Right, Royalty 4-1 on 3 in a row. Looks like he's got the read of the mind. I don't know. He looks away. 14 seconds to play. Looks like Electrify Steel still wants to take a shot at this, but Royalty shuts the door onto mine. You can see one last gunfight's going to be coming out. Contention's going to be in. Yuli's going to break. Now we look towards P2, over towards the boat. And Classic, he's going to be in a great spot here to get in behind, maybe deal up a bit of damage onto these Electrify Steel players. But Cryptic's going to go down. Yuli for the trade. 53 seconds. The shift is open. Electrify Steel still haven't made their move just yet. And Kaiser's finally going to break.
The longer it takes them to make their move, the more time it gives for 705 to get across and try to get some sort of a setup here to try to break inside of this hill. And finding that two-piece in a row will give them a good little opening from the front. Can't really find everything that they need to get the full break, though, and this should be some good time now. Going to the way of Electrify Steel, 705 will still be spawning up on the green side of the map, so they can still rotate in. They can try to hit this fairly early here, but realistically, with 20 seconds left, you might take one more shot at this hill before rotating.
You can see the break's going to come through. 705 on the collapse. However, a lot of Electrify Steel players coming out with their wins. Cryptic looking to win this one out. Takes down DiamondCon, removes him from that opportunity. The scrap time going the way of Electrify Steel. And you can already see the rotations here from 705 looking to set up on that beach for P3. Pristini will be able to remove Yuli. Nice shots onto Kaiser, but not able to remove him. It's going to be the nade from Royalty. That should be a solid setup for 705 early.
So far through 2 hills, this pretty much feels like your normal average Kavutu at the moment, where you just got 2 teams. Once you get control of a hill, you just try to hold on to it for basically as long as you possibly can. And that's really what we're seeing right now, just a kind of one of those general hard points where you set up for the money hill and you try to hold on to it for as long as humanly possible. And that's why you're seeing such a close game come through here. Electrify Steel not really pushing too far across the map either, not able to get inside of this hill. They'll finally start to make their first push on the front now.
DiamondCon here, watching the cross, shots on the mind. Royalty's still tucked away on the inside of this tank. Finally gonna peek on out, seeing if he can take him down. But Yuli has the overwatch onto mine, and look at that break from Electrify Steel. 4 clean kills to get into this hill 3. They find the break, looking to hold this lead going into the 4th hill, but 705 will stop them in their trail, as now it's gonna be a focus on this rotation. Classic seems like he's on the case. Yuli, big shutdown.
Massive kill there for Yuli, just to shut down 705 for being able to get the full rotation from one side across to the other. That's when these games on Kavutu you can get a little bit out of hand, but as long as you're trading hill for hill, losing out on those, 40 seconds of that last hill isn't going to matter, as long as you answer back with a big hold here of your own. But that big kill on the top side of the beach, it's going to open up a whole avenue now for 705, and they might just be able to pull these spawns to the top side for themselves.
Got 2 players spawning out. DiamondCon, huge kill onto mine in the back. Yuli now alone inside this hill, and you can see surrounded by 705 players. Can he hold on to his life? Nade's going to chop him down to 35 HP. Slides around to the left. DiamondCon's going to remove him. Mine now, chance to break. Royalty shuts that down. Holding the door is 705, keeping their lead intact, Jesse. Now they flip these spawns, and Electrify Steel in a very poor situation. Spawning up towards that cliffside. They're going to be lining up to these power positions of 705.
At least they don't give up too much time here, right? They can still keep it a little bit scrappy, a little bit contested here. And yeah, you know what? You're walking away with around the same deficit that you had going into that hill, but at least you keep it a little bit scrappy. It doesn't get too out of hand yet, and you can just set up for a full hold here at the docks and hope to, once again, try to not get broken off the start of this. Mine will be the first layer of defense, just watching over the middle of the map, trying to make sure nobody gets through. And as he sees nobody, I'm sure a lot of the call-outs are going to be coming in saying, hey, these guys are probably pushing through the top side of the map.
A big hill right now for Electrify Steel to pull things back. Taking care of business in the back line is Kaiser. All eyes on 705 from the top. Nice crisp shots out of Cryptic on that top LST ship. And all the kills so far raining true for Electrify Steel. 705 have yet to get something going into this hill. Another shutdown. That's going to be Kaiser on Classic over towards that top ring. Kaiser looking to make the full wraparound 3 go down again. This has been flawless so far on P5, Jesse. And even still, Electrify Steel, they're thinking ahead. They're looking for this rotation over to P1. Mine's going to be here with Kaiser. DiamondCon, a big win up top. Should shut this one down, but Kaiser's still alive on 6 in a row. He can find this glide bomb. It would be big, but a bigger kill at a Royalty to shut it down.
Yeah, won't be able to find it. Those are massive kills coming from 705. Not only just to shut down the streak, but also just to kind of get a little bit of momentum back in your favor. Not allow Electrify Steel to kind of string Hill 5 all the way over to Hill 1, because this Hill 1 in the second set of rotations very much so can become a full-on money hill. It's very hard to break into if you can get a full setup, and you have got the setup that you want right now if you're 705.
Big kill there. Cryptic can break. I'm now going to walk into 2. Mind on the trade. 2v3. Turned into a 2v1 on this. 705 spawning up towards that P4 side of the map. Mind inside the hill, still winning out on these gunfights 4 in a row. Look at the teammates turning up as well. It's 3 down for 705. And you can see all these arrows for Electrify Steel now looking for this map control to pin 705 back in their spawn. Another 3 down, Jesse. This is lights out so far in the second set for Electrify Steel.
Wow, and this hill is where Electrify Steel brought themselves back into the game in the last set of rotations as well. So they'll be the first team here and the first team set up at the LST ship, ready to go. And it's Cryptic once again, just being an absolute nuisance through middle of the map. You walk in front of this man, he is going to shut you down. There goes another one. Classic drops. And that's another 4 streak here for Electrify Steel. And they're really starting to take control of this game right now.
This Electrify Steel team, fantastic in week number 1. 705, not the same case as they're sitting 1 and 3. But in the second set, it seems like Electrify Steel all warmed up and ready to go. Mind's on the screen, losing out on these teammates. Pristini's going to find 2. Shut down 8 in a row from Mind, looking for number 9. Royalty's going to shut that down. Now 705 on the break into P2. Finally going to step on to collect some of this progression, Jesse. But Electrify Steel, it seems like they don't want to let it happen for too long. Cryptic and Yuli, they're going to find 2 inside that ship. Kaiser a third up top. A fadeaway onto Diamond Con. Pristini alone, it seems like the information is going to be there. Still going to win out into fight onto Kaiser. Classic's going to double down. 705 holding on to the second hill. But Jesse holding on by strings.
Yeah, I know that was a break that was so needed there for 705, but now need to find an even bigger break into the West Beach. They need to find a way to sneak through here. Pristini's on 4, really starting to heat up here at 12 and 5. Or sorry, 12 and 15, I should say. Just trying to find anything through the back line. Will find Kaiser. Gonna cook a nade now, but will end up falling. Not able to get exactly what they need. And it's just going to leave only 1 player in Royalty, the furthest player pushed up here for 705. And it looks like he just wants to make the exact same play. He'll fall as well. Very, very staggered pushes coming out of 705. And yet again, we're not seeing a break from the front.
Not seeing a break from the front just yet. It's a tough one to break. And if 705 can get this going, it's going to be a strong break. However, Yuli, it's the deck. There is a crossfire from player number 2. The information is going to be there. Yuli for the cleanup on the inside. Royalty trades. Back and forth we go into the hill, but Electrify Steel soaking up this time. You can't win on this hill, Jesse, right now. But Electrify Steel, they can put this out of distance for 705. And look at this play from Kaiser. Already on the rotation. Royalty and Pristini, no idea the patience in the play. Takes him down 3 out of the hands of 705. From the top rope, still looking to play his life, but the respawns for 705, they're finally going to take him down. 244 to 142. Electrify Steel, they can put this away with 1 break.
Well, yeah, this is going to be a really tough one. Literally need to be perfect from this point on.
Glide
you
bomb?
cannot allow another mistake, and a glide bomb will come through. The hit will come from the front. Yuli will hop inside of the hill and at least get a contest. Let alone find 2.
Woo.
They get the trades all going into their favor. You still got enough players from 705 to try to contest from the back, but it's just not going to be enough. Electrify Steel from the front, follow the glide bomb up, and they'll take map number 1.
You just can't win the map when Yuli's breaking like that, Jesse. And Electrify Steel, what a bounce back from the start of this Gavin 2 hardpoint. They were down throughout the first set of rotations, but into the second set, they looked like a new beast, and that beast completely takes over. We take a little bit of a look at that scoreboard right now, and you can see Mind 27 to 15. He found that glide bomb to help break at the end, but the rest of the team firing on all cylinders. Let's hop over to Trash Bros versus Valor over on our Charlie stream, Jesse, as the action. We're keeping it rolling.
It looks like names might be a little bit backwards here. Valor, though, on the left side, it is Trash Bros who actually do have the lead right now at 242 to 178, but it looks like a little bit of a break here from Valor towards the end of this. In towards this P5 is just still not enough as Exotic's able to get the trades. What am I saying? It's P5 on Tuscan. Everybody's going to be trading back and forth everywhere here. Trash Bros are just trying to scrap and claw for every little bit of this scrap time that they can here, because any little bit now that the Trash Bros are able to get, it's going to put them closer and closer to being able to put this game away.
Gotta be careful because you can still lose this here. Jintroid making one last hurrah at the end. 4 seconds left. Rex looking to put this one away. Wins out on a big gunfight. We're headed to the next set of rotations. Barely holding on here. Trash Bros, a comeback would be monumental. You can see Valor Esports spawning up Onto the left side of the minimap. Jintroid pops off 3 in a row. Hollow's going to close the door on the middle of the map. You can see Valor off that respawn now. They have to kick things into gear. They only need 2 points to put this map away. As the Trash Bros, they have to be sweating in their boots. Venom is going to spot out Exotic. Wreck will get the trade. Into the hill they go for the contention. Phantom's over the shoulder. Mock takes him down. Hollow to back him up. Still holding on strong as Trash Bros. Jintroid pops in for one of his own. I don't know how they're holding on, Jesse, but they are making it look damn good.
Oh, this is getting really, really interesting here. They can close this one out. If you're Trash Bros, bring yourselves right back in to this map. And I mean, they're doing it so far, and they still hold on to those right-hand spawns if they need to get a rotation over towards Neo. But finally, you'll get the break there. Yeah, it was like it was one of those moments where, as casters, we say they need to play perfect hardpoint, and they were doing it for the large majority of that. But unfortunately, they do end up falling at the very end there. Just not enough to be able to hold off Trash Bros.
Well, it's one of those situations where Valor Esports, they are 0-4 inside of Elite Stage 3, looking to turn things around onto a hot Trash Bros team who would come out 3-1 in the first week, Jesse. And with that win, I mean, that should light a fire underneath Valor Esports throughout the rest of the series. But, I mean, now we're on the desk. We could talk about these teams a little bit. We just came off of Europe where we saw very close games throughout the whole day. But North America, I don't expect it to be any different whatsoever. And already in the case for 2 hard points, wild hard points between both games.
Yeah, I mean, really, really. You could say the first hard point of this 705 match was close until probably the second set of rotations. That's when you really saw Mind and Cryptic really kind of turn up for Electrify Steel, and you just had no answer from 705. And what scares me about that is that's their best game mode in Hardpoint, 4 and 3, their only mode that they're positive in. And now we go to Search and Destroy where they're 0 and 5, so 705 they are going to need to figure it out very, very quickly in this series if they want to be able to kind of keep it close and keep it tight for themselves through the rest of it. We can take a look at our maps and modes here as well. Started off with that first map on Gavutu, the 251-49 win if you're just joining us. But I mean, a very nice looking back half of our series. Bokaj Search, Gavutu Control, back to Bokaj again. We do a little flip back and forth between our first 2 maps, and then we finish off with a nice little Desert Siege Search and Destroy. I'm liking the map picks.
A little flippy flop, and then we go to a Desert Siege to close this one out. I'm digging it too, just alongside. And when you're looking at that map too for Search and Destroy and Bokaj, you might think, the veterans that are in this roster for 705 Esports. You got Royalty, Classic, Diamondcon, Pristini, all been around the block. CDL, CWL, Challengers. They have gone the distance against some top teams. But, Bokaj, when you're going toe-to-toe with some young guns like Kaiser and Cryptic, this is going to be a crazy one because Electrify Steel, they have had 705 Esports number for quite a while, and this is a strong team. Previously, the Stallions roster that I can see, walking away with this week number 3, maybe even close to the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things where they just kind of have 705's number, like you were saying, and it really scares me now going into the back half of this as well. I thought that 705, if they were going to win this, it was going to probably be on respawns alone because their Search and Destroy has really just not been there this season. And it scares me even more going to a Bokaj Search and Destroy. 0-3 in that mode through the first 4 games of Stage 2 for this 705 team. So definitely Bokaj Search and Destroy has not been their strong suit. And then you've got Electrify Steel on the other side, who's 2-0 on this same map mode combination. So definitely a map that Electrify Steel are very happy to see come through, knowing the records on the opposing side. And I'm sure they're going to be feeling very good about it as they go through the rest of this series. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see if they kind of have a chance to be able to bring this one back. It's just really weird to see this team kind of struggling the way that they are, with, like what you said, with how they are pretty much all former pros at one time or another. It's just a little bit weird to see them kind of struggling the way that they are. And I mean, it kind of goes down to a little bit of consistency thing. I mean, not the most consistent players on the team, having Classic and Pristini. I feel like sometimes they're up, sometimes they're down. And then when you really look at this team, you put them all together, I mean, it's kind of leading to a lot of inconsistencies that we've seen through a lot of their gameplay so far.
And for Electrify Steel, it's the complete opposite. I mean, this team has been consistent all throughout Vanguard, so you can see why this team has been so good against teams like 705 Esports. I mean, these previous matchups that we've been alluding to between the two of them, over in Cup 10, Electrify Steel, they went out in round 1 or lower round 1 against the 705 roster. Back in the Clutch Cup, when it was a heat check versus Stallions, Stallions take it 3-1. I mean, they have just been the better team for quite a while since these roster changes came through. And into this one, I mean, this chance to go up 2-0, it just seems like they're getting better as the year goes on. And they've been impressing me, sure enough. But it's not the only inconsistencies we've seen, as we can kind of talk about the standings a little bit going into this. Not only are we looking at these two teams, we're going to be looking at a couple others. And, you know, on stream on our Bravo is Toronto Ultra Academy NA and Iron Blood Gaming, two teams with stacked rosters, just like the 705 Esports roster, just like Electrify Steel, who have kind of had an inconsistent sort of season 3 so far. I mean, yeah, Toronto Ultra NA, they have a 3-1 record inside of the bracket right now. But even still, I don't feel like I'm seeing the same Toronto Ultra NA that we saw even in the Pro-Am when they looked like the best amateur team.
I don't know. I kind of am not right there with you. I don't think. I think that if I'm looking at everybody inside of this right now, even though they didn't have the hottest week number 1 with a 9-7 map count, I still feel like they're probably my favorites to make it out of this. I mean, the fact that you have a rough week and you're still walking away with a 3-1 record and a 9-7 map count, I think it's a pretty good spot to be. They lost their first match as well. Let's not forget it was to the Red Wolves, right? And that was a match that I don't think anybody really thought they were going to lose. I'm sure they didn't really think that they were going to lose that one either. And maybe they just played down to their competition a little bit. Maybe they just didn't come out with the hottest fire that you normally see from Scrappy, from that Toronto Ultra NA team. And it could have just hurt them in that first week. But you know what? They bounced back after it. They've gone on 3 straight wins since. And now they're just looking to kind of keep rolling with that momentum into this week. And I would be very surprised to see that team finishing outside of the top 4.
And 2 Game 5s as well for them to win out on. So you can see that the competition definitely closing through at NA across a lot of teams. And that's what excites me the most, Jesse, is just how competitive Season 3 has been so far. But as you guys can see, we're hopping into this map number 2, Bokash, search and destroy between 705 Esports and Electrify Steel. And the biggest question on our minds, can we see 705 Esports win a search and destroy? And Jesse, in your mind, I mean, where do we need to see this team improve if they are going to take a win here?
I mean, it's got to probably just be, you know, just playing together a little bit more, maybe playing off each other's backs, making sure that if one player goes down, there's always somebody there to get that trade for you. Just don't fall into bad man advantages. And when you do get those man advantages for yourselves, make sure you play them out exactly the same form. Just make sure you're always there for a trade. Make sure you always keep that man advantage in your favor. You can always walk away with wins. So this is a team that I'm actually so surprised to see not good at search and destroy. Because I mean, I feel like classically, right? You see Royalty and Classic as pretty decent search and destroy players. I know Persini is a little bit newer still to Vanguard, but how long can we keep that as an excuse for some poor play for this 705 roster? They're going to need to start clicking. And S&D wins the championship, so to be 0-5 through week 1, you definitely are going to need to pick that up going into week 2. But Colin, this is one thing I said to you in the green room before we came into this one. They're 1-3 coming into this week. I honestly wouldn't have even been surprised if we turn around and we see a complete flip of a switch and we see this team walk away with a 3-0 record this week and walk away 4-3 and end up making it into the top 4. That's just how crazy this team can either swing positively or negatively.
Just hot and cold is the question. And I'm right there with you. I mean, you have world champions on this team. You'd expect veteran players like that would be able to excel inside search and destroy, but we're gonna have to wait, put a pin in that, as we did get a lobby break. We're gonna hop into the Berlin search and destroy between Trash Bros and Valor Esports. And you know, another team stacked to the brim with talent but haven't really been able to turn up is this Valor Esports roster. Exotic, Dylan Rex, Phantoms, and Yeez. Now we're gonna turn this around inside of week 3, as they are definitely gonna have to make the biggest switch flip to make it into that bracket play. As we're looking at this round number 1, 2-2, bomb is down, and Mock is going to put Rex now in a 1v2.
And you see the names on this roster, and you are like, how the heck are these guys 0-4 after week 1? It just does not make any sense for this Valor Esports team to be that low here. But like you said, Dylan Rex now in a 1 versus 2. Not the greatest situation to be in, but might actually be able to catch one off on the rotation here. See if he spots him. He has not spotted him out, but he's seen him twice. Peripheral vision does not come into effect, and that's going to be Trash Bros taking round number 1.
And just a little blending into the scenery, and that's one that you wish you could get back. Mock spots him into the window, says, hey, down from there. You're going to hurt yourself. You don't want to break your legs when you're jumping out. Either remove him, go up 1-0 now inside the search and destroy, and see if they can keep this momentum going forward. Trash Bros, I'm surprised to see, you know, that go the way of Trash Bros in the sense that Rex had some time to play there with the rotation over to B, but still turns up into that 1v2 in the way of Trash Bros. And now looking at their offense here, Valor Esports, a shot at this A site right off the rip is going to be Venom alone. He needs to at least find one. If he can find two, that would be great. Takes down Yeez. Exotic looking for the trade. He's going to find two before going down. Venom, he just went big.
That's just stuff you cannot allow to happen. Venom goes absolutely massive. And now it's going to leave Rex and Phantoms here alone in a 2v3. Need to try to get this bomb down as well. Rex should have an opening to try to put this down if he wants to, but he's actually just going to choose to take the fight. Will win the fight against Mock as well, but in doing so, Phantoms falls and he's alone in a 1v2. Not going to be able to find the kills either. And that's going to be Trash Bros going up 2-0.
And 1v2s have been the bane of their existence so far in that Berlin. But from what it understands, Jesse, our main match is ready to go. Top of the bow, Kosh, get in with 705 Esports versus Electrify Steel. And what do you see right off the bat? I mean, it's 2 down for 705 on defense as well. This is going to be a lot of map control for Electrify Steel. Yuli looking to make the full wrap around. I don't know if he's going to spot Diamondcon. It looks like he got eyes on. Maybe he didn't. Diamondcon a chance now to punish, and Cryptic shuts him down. So no chance is going to be there. Now Royalty 1v4. Does he have the magic to make it happen? He does not.
Please tell me Yuli had a automaton in his hand there. If not, Yuli just hit some ridiculous shots. No, it wasn't MP40. Look at these shots. That had to have been some of the most ridiculous shots I've seen all year long. That was a hard head glitch to be able to drop a player off with an automaton in hand, let alone using the MP40. Truly showing just how gifted he is in that spot there. And it's going to be a fairly clean round out of Electrify Steel. They're going to drop all 4 without dropping a player of their own. Now heading into round number 2, we'll see what 705 decides to do here on their offense. And it looks like they want to hit out towards middle of the map, but it's looking very similar here from Electrify Steel. Very, very mid-map heavy push.
They have so many avenues on lock. Look at Mine's positioning, Jesse, just on that wall. To spot out so many players here, but 705 Esports still yet to find anything. Mine drops down. The information the player's going to be it there. Spots Pristini looking the wrong way. He gets out with his life. Big first blood coming out there. The trade from Classic, though, and still numbers advantage to Electrify Steel, but a chance now for 705 to maybe draw some Electrify Steel out of their positionings. He spotted them.
Oh, and Kaiser's on the perfect flank right now. Yeah, this is just going so poorly for 705 Classic. Will get the trade. Will try to get away with his life, but they are like dogs hunting him down, and that's going to be Electrify Steel running away with another round victory there. And 705, they just cannot click it and get it going here inside of Search and Destroy right now.
Oh, it's just because I feel like it's that fast-paced energy that Electrify Steel are bringing to a Bokosh map like this. Kaiser, Automaton all the way in the back. You just don't expect plays like that from an AR flex like that, and that's going to just be a big play to really put a pin in that round. 705 Esports needs to find an answer back. You're starting to fall behind here inside of a Bokosh, and yeah, it's only 2-0 up, but I mean, Bokosh, it goes fast, Jesse, and you don't want to be down 3-0.
Oh, talk about a stack over at A right now. 705 just deciding, hey, you know what? Let's just take control of one side of the map, and it works out so well for them on this defense here. They find 3 kills in a row. Cryptics all by themselves now on a 3 spree. We'll see how he chooses to play this. Might choose to just try to play for streaks here. Will find Royalty, but will get tagged up by the grenade as well. I love that play from 705 there. They just take absolute control of Grandma's house. They don't let anybody swing out towards the side. And oh my God, it was a nade at the very end over the top. Diamondcon dropping it in.
A little Kobe there. Loving it from 705 in that play. And immediately answering back, Jesse, exactly what we needed to see. Exactly what they needed for sure. To stop the streak of Cryptic and to start a streak of their own. Now, on attack, I would like to see them maybe play a little bit more aggressive insights of maybe not giving up too much to Electrify Steel to kind of get onto the flanks like they were. And already you can see them looking to take over this A site. You have players from Electrify Steel here. Yuli's going to find one into Royalty. Cryptic collapses onto Classic and removes that bomb from Potential. And now 705 Esports, they're kind of trapped in a barrel.
Well, I like the idea to make that team push again over towards A. But unfortunately, it just felt like they maybe overextended a little bit too much. 2 players got a little bit too aggressive, and now you're going to leave 2 of your own in a 2 versus 4 essentially here. Diamondcon will get 1, can't get the second, and now you're just going to leave Pristini all by themselves. I mean, I've seen Pristini clutch up from worse situations, though.
Oh, as have I, but I mean, how separated Pristini and Diamondcon were there. That shows why they're down 2-1. And 1 map down as well. Pristini's going to go for this bomb pad. You look at Electrify Steel. They have no idea he slipped through the middle. So this bomb is going to go down opts to take control of this river bend. Gonna have to take these gunfights, though. Shots on a mine as he expects Kaiser to be around the outside. He does not, so that's gonna be Kaiser cleaning things up. Gets the defuse right away. Electrify Steel back into their 2-round comfort zone.
I think Pristini with the automaton in hand there, the better play would have been planting the bomb, maybe trying to make a play towards the back of the willow tree and holding from back there, just because there's a couple less angles that you can really get attacked from at once there, and you can just choose to try to check the bomb when you need to type thing. Maybe it would have been a little bit easier, but it's in that situation, though. He doesn't have all the information that we have. It's definitely not as easy to make a play call like that. So completely understandable that he doesn't go for that push. Maybe thought that there could be an electrified steel player already lurking in towards the back of willow tree. So just unfortunate, doesn't get the right read on it, can't get the bomb down. And I mean, it's just a hard situation to win any 1 versus 3, let alone a 1 versus 3 against a very good search and destroy team in this electrified steel roster.
Look at the play 705 has this time around. Classic's going to get caught by a nade where mine was playing earlier. It's going to give up a lot of control to Grandma's for Electrify Steel. Pristini for the trade. Cryptic gets removed out towards that exact same position that Classic went down. Mind in this position, he's going to try to sneak in behind Diamondcon, though. Aware of that positioning, he is going to shut him down. No flank anymore. 3v2. Numbers in the hands of 705 Esports, and looks like Bomb's going to go down at A in this 2v3. What's the post flank going to look like?
I was curious too. I thought he might try to make a push over towards the barn side of the map, but no, just going to choose to play bottom grandmas, takes a couple shots, and now will choose to try to get out with his life here. They're not in the greatest situation here, but he didn't catch the time, and I thought he might have been able to. And now it's Kaiser all by themselves over in the river, and yeah, it's just not a situation you're ever going to win. And this is another very good defensive round coming in from 705.
You say how 705 really set things up there, Jesse, you know, just scattering themselves around the map to deny information to Electrify Steel and ultimately keep them guessing on where their positioning is. And at the end there, you can see that Kaiser thinks he has the opening to make the full wrap around the map. However, 705 Esports still residing on that half of the map. They spot him out. Yuli tries to back him up, but it's too little too late. And they clean up business. Now down 2-3. They cut it back down to a 1-round disadvantage. Let's see what they can do and maybe see if they can take an attack.
We'll see. It's going to be a push out towards middle of the map. Very aggressive through middle of the map. They will get a trade immediately here. And wow, just trades are going down back and forth like crazy. Leave them in a 2 versus 1. They did okay. This whole round is just apparently everybody run at middle of the map, and we'll just completely trade out. Works out perfectly for 705 though. They walk away with the round victory, and they're going to tie us up at 3-3.
You see the way Diamondcon played that too. He pulls out a submachine gun. He's like, "All right, guys, let's tussle." Walks right down the middle of the map.
Myself.
Exactly. Pulls out the Infinity Gauntlet. He's like, all right, it's my turn. 7-3. 3 in a row, by the way, Jesse. He's having a game.
That's a great round at a Diamondcon. It's going to be really good for the momentum, too, of this 705 team. Now match their best on Bocage, being able to win 3 rounds on this mode, on this map mode combo. So it clearly tells you the struggles that they were having with it. But Diamondcon actually may have just made the play as well here.
Love this play. He's going to burst up the door. Cryptic doesn't hear him. The shots early. Still finds the kill. Can he get out? Royalty on the opposite end will take down Yuli. The trade's going to leave us in a 2v2 as Kaiser will be able to take control now of this back tank. But that bomb is down, Jesse. Mine has yet to pick it back up. And you got to look at the mini-map as 705 and Electrify. They've flipped things around as they're both now on the opposite ends of their spawn. What I'm seeing here is maybe just trying to burn the clock a little bit. Mine's bomb in hand. Will he rotate over to A?
Classic definitely did get eyes on Kaiser there.
Oh, he did.
Just, you got to imagine that this is the call to make them wrap over. And unfortunately for them, Mine makes just a perfect heads-up play here in saying, hey, you know what? They know that we're probably going to wrap this back over to A. Let's just wrap this back over to B. It works out perfectly. Now 705 need to make the retake.
Oh, Mind. Walking right into Diamondcon. That's 5 in a row. Kaiser now last alive. Bomb planted. Both players on 705 separated, so these 1v1s are going to be possible. Kaiser makes it even. 1 versus 1. Knows where Diamondcon is. He's going to completely wrap around. 27 seconds to burn. He didn't see the cross.
He didn't see
Diamondcon now in a chance to close this one out with the better positioning, but Kaiser tucked away in the back is going to spot the cross. Shots ring out. Diamondcon knows he can't hop this bomb. 17 seconds. Kaiser now hops up top. The high ground's going to be controlled. Spots the bomb, gets out. He knows this time's under control. He knows this round's under control, and it's going to be Electrify Steel winning it out again.
That was a crazy 1v1 at the very end of that round there. I thought that Diamondcon, once he got up on the site and once you got those early shots out of Kaiser, was just going to fly around. Take that challenge knowing that he probably has the MP40 in his hand. but unfortunately doesn't take the challenge, not able to walk away with it. And that's going to be another round that 705 is going to be looking at like, hey, yo, we could have won that round out and we lost the streaks. They were on a 5 spree with Diamond there. I feel like if you're Diamond Con, you might just want to play that one a little bit more aggressively there. You know all the information in the world, but I guess it's an automaton, right? In the corner. You challenge it. There's definitely a possibility that you do lose out on that gunfight, but it's just all about confidence, man. You got to play with it sometimes.
Well, it seems like there's a little bit more pep in the step of Electrified Steel this time on defense, expecting the aggression out of 705, but the aggression's not there. You see very patient plays out of the offense, and Electrified Steel, they put all their eggs into the basket of the A site. Nobody answers the call. So now they're going to disperse and separate with a 2-2 setup over towards A and B. 2 players on Electrified Steel inside Grandma's, Jesse. They're in the middle of the map, so in a position where they can really rotate to either side if they need to.
Yeah, but this could work out really well for 705 as well, though, just because they don't have these players in the right spots. But like you called out, Cryptic had that cross-watched perfectly. Will shut down Diamond Con. Royalty makes the hop-up as well. And Cryptic says, oh, hello, I'll just shut you down as well. And you're absolutely correct, Colin. Bomb down top of Grandma's. I mean, I don't think that bomb could be down in a worse spot for 705 right now.
Interesting plays coming up from 705 inside of this Bokar Search and Destroy, and a chance for Electrified Steel now to go on map point. Need big things out of Classic and Pristini 2 world champions, and look at that 3 go down. 20 seconds left. You have to know Cryptic is up top in the attic. As both these players, we take it from 2 separate sides. Classic's gonna get removed. Cryptic hops out the window, looking to regenerate that health, leave it in a 1v1. 8 seconds left. He just needs to play the time. There's no time, Jesse. Oh, Cryptic, he's got this one on lock, and Pristini in no position to find the trade. Cryptic just soloed that whole round. 3 kills and the time burn.
I mean, credit where credit is due, though. 705 was in a terrible spot inside of that round. The fact that they brought that back to being a 1v1, impressive in itself. But like you said, just not enough time left on the clock to be able to get anything done. And Cryptic, as soon as he knew that bomb was down up inside of the top of Grandma's, you're just going to sit in a corner there, watch over it, watch your ladder every once in a while, just happen to watch the ladder at the exact right time, and it's going to leave Electrified Steel now up 5-3, continuing the curse of Bocage against 705 Esports here on Search and Destroy, trying to close this out, and that first play coming in from Kaiser is not going to make it any easier.
Quick trade from Classic. Royalty a team kill, but he takes down mine as well. 2v2. Cryptic now looking for the advantage. He's going to find it. 4 in a row for Cryptic. Can he put this one away? Royalty last alive. Another 1v2 out of the favor of 705 Esports. Bomb is down. Royalty looks like he wants to make the overextension. Kaiser going to swan him out. Cryptic right on the corner. Royalty, you need to get out with your life here. Can't overchow these gunfights anymore. 52 seconds to burn. Cryptic looks like he wants to recover the bomb. The bomb is on the roof. I don't think I've ever seen that before, but wrapping this one back around to A. Royalty doesn't hear it at all. He's going to be caught out in the open, and that's going to be Electrified Steel, keeping the pattern strong. In 705, they fall short once again.
There were so many times there where 705 were in a spot where they could win out on a lot of those rounds. Came down to a lot of little small 1v1 situations that they just end up losing out on, or just like one of those clutch situations where you need to find a kill just to be able to make sure you can close the round, and they just were not able to. But once again, Cryptic having another really good map, and not just Cryptic, Kaiser as well, really popping off there inside of the Search and Destroy. We switch our focus back over towards Trash Bros versus Valor. And you can already see Valor inside. They will win out on another round, so that's going to force us into a round 11 here as well. Colin, we just got so much COD going on.
Oh, yeah. On a closer note, this Berlin is neck and neck, and you're right, so much COD. I'm loving it, Jesse. This is what I love about the Elite season. I'm all here for it right alongside you. Now, final round, what are we going to get? I mean, early on, we saw Valor Esports constantly caught in 1v2s. I mean, obviously, they changed something up because we're in a round 11, but you have to think back to that. You can't allow that to happen here in the last little bit.
You absolutely cannot. We'll see what they decide to do here right off the offense. It looked like it was going to be a very, very split offense between all of these teams right off the rip.
Jeez.
Oh, Yeez is very soloed right now over towards this B side of the map.
Careful.
He needs to wait for some reinforcements to come in before he gets aggressive.
Down to 24 HP. Bomb's going to get planted. 41 seconds. How fast are we going to see this retake from Valor? Rex and Yeez, they are here. Venom's going to find one. Jintroid a second. They double down, and suddenly Valor Esports on the back foot. Rex is going to pull this one back with the kill, but Jintroid's still alive on 2 in a row inside of this hill. Exotics now caught in no man's land, and Trash Bros close out on all the hopes and dreams that Valor Esports could have for going up 2-0 over a hot Trash Bros team. And that is going to be quite the round 11 right there. What a shutdown towards that B site.
Yeah, that was absolutely needed there too for the likes of Trash Bros. The fact that they lose out on that first game definitely had an opportunity to close it out right at the very end. Just did not come all the way through. Just that little bit away from being able to close out map number 1, able to do it in map number 2, and it got close there as well, all the way down to around 11. Very, very tight maps, but you know what? Able to just close it out at the very end, and it's exactly what you need. But talking about a complete flip of the coin over towards our main focus and our main series here, the 705 versus Electrify Steel, and it has been all Electrify Steel here so far.
Oh, it completely has. And it doesn't surprise me either, Jesse. I mean, I know when you look at 705 Esports, you look at the names, and you have to think that this is going to be a competitor inside of the Elite season. They have been. They just haven't been able to get the job done when these games get close. And Electrify Steel, they're one of those teams that just ice up when they need to. And you can see, like, constantly in 1v2s or even 1v1s, Electrify Steel were winning those rounds. You look at Cryptic and Kaiser, 9-5 for Cryptic. Kaiser 10-5, having fantastic games, but most importantly, you look at Cryptic's stat, 8 of those 9 kills non-traded, so getting in and out with his life and really icing up.
Yeah, I mean, you did have DiamondCon on the other side who was also putting in some work, but just you can't answer back fire with fire when you got 2 players on the side of Electrify Steel going as hot as they were in Kaiser and Cryptic. DiamondCon, he just could not get it all done by himself, and even in a couple of those rounds where it was close and they were very, very close to being able to win out, just the ice was just not there for 705 simply put throughout a lot of that game there. But let's talk about Cryptic right now, man. I mean, having a series at the moment, a very good map 1. He was, I would say, very close to double positive, definitely in the positive category through a lot of that map, and then even inside of that map number 2. I mean, just the fact that you're able to finish it off like that, what was a 9-5 at the very end there, and just keep running the score up for yourself. And honestly, I would not be surprised if Electrify Steel is able to put this one away in 3.
Yeah, Cryptic's been impressing me, not just throughout the series, but throughout the whole Vanguard season so far. And I wouldn't be surprised if this Electrify Steel team put it away here on Gavin2 Control. I mean, they've just looked fantastic throughout this whole series. But right now, if you're needing anything to change my mind, it's going to have to be a huge, convincing game here on Gavin2 Control, because going into that Bokash hardpoint, I mean, you just saw how comfortable Electrify Steel are on a very high-paced or fast-paced close quarters map like Bokash, and you have to be a little bit scared going into that second hardpoint, Jesse.
Yeah, I feel like 705 will also be pretty confident on that map, though, as well. I mean, like, that'll give them a good chance to be able to run 3, maybe even 4 subs if they really feel necessary, because let's be honest, they have a ton of players on this team who are very much so flex players, right? DiamondCon can run a sub. We've seen it happen last year. Classic very much so can run either the AR or the sub, and even Prasini, I've seen him run in the AR in multiple titles, but also mainly a sub in multiple titles. So maybe that could be a map that could be a little bit more comfortable as well for 705. So definitely, I don't think out of it if they do end up going towards that hard point. I think luckily for them is that they're going to Control, and that seems to be the worst mode so far here for Electrify Steel. 2-2 on the season. What map we're going to? We're going to Gavutu. They've only played one Gavutu. They are 1-0. 705's 2-1 on it. So definitely an opportunity here for 705 to still take a map inside this series.
Well, you have the experience on both sides of the teams, but realistically, when you look back at that Gavin2 hardpoint that we had at the start, Jesse, I mean, it was a hot start at a 705 Esports. You know that they're good on this map. It's just towards the later end, they let up from the gas. They allow Electrify Steel in, and Mine picks up those streaks. Yuli kept on breaking from the front of those hills, and you can just see the small things getting a little out of hand. So if you're 705 Esports going into this Control, I mean, you're looking at those small little nuances that went out of your hand inside that map number 1. You're kind of looking towards fixing that going into this Control. Yes, you don't really have the rotations like those hardpoints in this Control map, but realistically, that map control is going to be good. And 705 Esports, they were in strong positions of map control back in that map 1.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really just going to come down to whether or not they can just kind of find a way to ice up against Electrify Steel, because Electrify Steel feels like once they get rolling, just 705 just had no answer for them. That's what kind of scares me about defense here for them inside of this map, just because I feel like if you're not going to be able to win your defenses, it's going to be really, really tough. But a good start here, right off the rip. 705 will be able to hop onto the A zone, and it's going to be Prasini and Royalty really trying to control the pace.
Looking for that first take. Here comes the nades out of Electrify Steel. Kaiser's going to find one onto Prasini. The first take will be cemented inside this A zone, and there's Electrify Steel looking for the break on in. Yuli leading the charge. Mine with a little bit of Overwatch. You get a double team there to take down DiamondCon on the inside. No progression. It forces Royalty to hop on in. See if he can get some foots on into this hill. Yuli again. He's going to strike. Yuli finds 3. for a full break into the zone. Persini now last alive around it, and he's going to get cleaned up. Yuli is doing everything right now in this map 3.
That's a really good chance now for Electrify Steel if they want to try to fly forward and really start to pin these 705 players inside of the back of their spawns. But they do fly forward, and they lose out on a lot of the gunfights there. They'll go for a 3-for-1 trade. Now a 4-for-1 trade as they do finally end up losing Kaiser up at the top side of the map. So now if you're 705, you need to try to finish this A zone off. This is the perfect opportunity to do so, but I believe it's only Royalty still inside of the zone, so it's still going to very slowly. They do push out just far enough, though, so they will get the zone finished off. Yeah, or sorry, up 4 lives for themselves now heading over towards B.
That's why prior to being named 705 Esports, they were called Heat Check, because of moments like that where they just put Electrify Steel in check, shut them down, and take control. B-Zone now under siege. One take already in. Diamondcon, look at the finesse! What a shot onto Kaiser! Now, Cryptic on the outside. He can hop in for the contention, but Diamondcon ready for it as ever. 9 shots in the auto. Slides on out, finds Yuli. Still in hand, still pressure going to be there. Brastini watching over him. Here comes Cryptic going to clear out this hill, but he's still in enemy territory. There's still players here from the 705 Esports. This is so good. It's almost suffocating to watch. 8 lives left for Electrify Steel as this is the second tick on board for 705.
Double the lives, and now they need to try to push their way through too, and it just looks like 705 should be able to close this one out. They do actually end up losing out on their players' push further as far forward as they are, but it doesn't matter. There's only 5 lives left. This should very much so be a 705 win here.
Yes, it should. Last chance for Electrify Steel to make some noise. Diamondcon's going to get cleaned up. Yuli slides on in. We're going to neutralize that third tick progression here into the B zone. And so far, so good for Electrify Steel to really slow things down, catch their breath. So you gotta be careful. You talked about Cryptic and a hot start in through these 2 first maps, 1 and 7 into this third one. Still alive here is Electrify Steel in 2 versus 9 situation. Mine's gonna get caught out in the open. Classic to clean him up, leaving Kaiser last alive now. 6 and 7. How much can you get done? He's just gonna fly forward, concede the round. And 705, what a start.
A really, really good round there for 705. I think the big thing if you're Electrify Steel, yeah, you lose out that round, but at least you don't give up all 6 ticks of progression. You do end up going out on life count. What that does for you later on, I mean, you'll still have to win an offense. So just keep that in mind as we go along, because if they win an offense and they are able to get all the ticks of progression, we'll put them in maybe a little bit of an advantage. But Colin, the one thing you brought up at the end of that round was exactly what I was going to bring up. Cryptic 1 and 7, not something that we have seen throughout any part of this series so far. Been probably the best player on Electrified Steel through a lot of this series. Gonna need to pick it up here. And I mean, to lose an offense right away on this map is definitely not how you want to start it off.
Jarring. And they find their footing there and an answer back. Wonderful 3 down. Cryptic and Kaiser, they open things up. Exactly what you need from your big gunners. Like these 2, and Kaiser's immediately gonna hop onto B, stop this clock in a minute 10. Allow his teammates on respawn to get a little bit back into things. And Kaiser has help here, too. Mine is going to turn up with 2 of his own. You can now see Electrify Steel starting to pour some resources into this B zone. However, Prasini slips the line. He's going to shut that down with 3 of his own. And 705, they stabilize.
They haven't been able to really get any ticks of progression. They only get, what, the 1 over at B. Nothing else really besides that. Now the full push over towards A is where they've decided to put all of their focus here. Kaiser will go absolutely massive through the middle of the map. They can try to get a stack onto the zone if they want to, but no, they're going to choose to send their 2 players pushed as far forward as they are over towards docks, try to get into a position to cut off a lot of these players, but actually still nobody on this hill. So time is just dwindling down, and they're really not finding a ton of success out of doing so. They need to hop onto A. They need to get this tick of progression through so that they can not only just stop the clock, but also give themselves some extra time as they need to try to hit towards B after.
Go from Kaiser to, or from Classic to clean up Kaiser inside green. Tongue twister there, but Mind is going to answer back with 2 of his own. Over towards B. It's going to draw the attention of 705 away from A. Allow the second tick to be cemented. 705 Esports. It doesn't seem like they're going to go for this at all. It seems like they're conceding this third tick, Jesse.
You kind of have to when you're down 6 lives. You really can't afford to send anybody
or
over
are they?
here. You need to, well, they'll play for exits is what they're doing right now. They're trying to make sure they can stop all of the Electrify Steel players from being able to get out and get into those powerful positions to get onto those big flanks. They're basically now, with only, what, an 8 life deficit, they need to just pretty much get into those full-on setups. And it's going to need to be that, basically an Optic Gaming type hold of what you saw in, was it all the way back in Major 1, where we saw Optic just be able to hold out on this hill, even though it was a DC. This is pretty much what we need now inside of this run if they want to hold on.
Well, when the roles are reversed, how much ice does 705 Esports have? I know Royalty and Diamondcon are Canadian, so a lot of ice over there, but inside
But
this
they're not
roster.
skating on it, though.
Right. 6 and 14. Not an easy thing to come back from. Cryptic on the flank. Chance to really open things up. The back line of 705 Esports. Royalty, big kill into Kaiser. Should slow things down. Mine's looking to make a play through the middle of the map. Will be able to find Classic and remove him. However, trades are going to go back to 705 Esports' favor. 4 lives remaining for 705. No more respawns. 37 seconds to burn.
Now Electrify Steel. It looks like they just want to group all up together, try to make one big solid push together. That's exactly what you need to do, especially in an 11v4 situation. They group up nades, they're able to find one, and this just gives them the full opening to be able to fly forward.
Mine's going to be in. Classic. Oh, what a kill. 22 seconds. The clock is stopped, but here comes the flank out of Pristini. Will be able to trade things out. Kaiser taking things into his own hands. Diamondcon now last alive. 1v8. Slides on in. He's going to find 2 on a Yuli. Still holding things down. Diamondcon against the world. How much can he get done? 16 seconds left. I mean, this is doable. He just needs to go absolutely large. The rain is going to come through from all the pressure of Electrify Steel, and they're finally going to take him down. Oh, Diamondcon, he made that look good.
He sure gave it his best, right? Like, it was definitely a good amount of effort there at the very end. The funny thing that comes through, Colin, is both offenses almost identical in the fact that they're able to get one of the ticks of progress or one zone of progression, and then they move over towards the other, only able to get 2 ticks of progression at the other zone. So both teams right now sitting on 5 ticks apiece and on an offensive round apiece. Not something you normally see at the start of a Gavutu is back-to-back offensive wins.
Look at Kaiser's 21 and 14, Jesse, after 2 rounds. I mean, if you talk about a hard carry, I mean, this guy is really taking things into his own hands. As you look at Cryptic, not having a good game, 6 and 13, 705, looking to do exactly what they did in the first round. Take A early, and Royalty punishing towards B, keeping that pressure and that attention drawn on over. But it looks like Electrify Steel still want to take their chances over to A. Classic's going to at least find 1 before going down, but all this is happening. I mean, Royalty, he's not getting anything done over towards B. Electrify Steel, that's a big play.
Yeah, they don't end up being able to even get a ticket progression over at B. They will find one inside of the A zone. But this is a great chance now for Electrified Steel just to pin 705 in the back of their spawns. And they are absolutely doing it at the moment. You see a 7-life lead. Everybody pushing up, everybody getting into these very annoying positions just to shut down the 705 players off.
Man.
And Yuli is just tearing it up right now.
Oh, Yuli's been tearing it up, Jesse. Kaiser's on 7 in a row. He's got a glide bomb, and right now, if you're 705 Esports, you need to really slow things down. You're trapped into your spawn, and you need to dig yourself out. So grab your shovels and get to work, because they're going to find 1. A little bit of breathing room, but still another wave to walk on through. Yuli finds Classic. Royalty for the trade. Kaiser is still on the cliffside. Royalty reads him like a book. Mine on the inside of this boat. He will be able to take down Royalty, but 3 players have gone down. And 705 Esports will be able to stop this clock with an overextension out of Pristini towards this B zone. Allows Diamondcon as well as Royalty to hop on A. Yuli now. Can he punish this? Classic trying to stay alive, and he dies. 16 seconds left. This needs to be 705 Esports to put their foot down.
I think if you're Electrified Steel here, you just fly every resource that you have over at B. You just make sure that they can't get any more progression over here, because this is when things get scary. When both ticks of progression, when both zones are flying forward, especially when you got Royalty doing it all by themselves. Over at B right now, this should be the A zone completely finished off. The life lead is still very much so in Electrified Steel's favor. Almost double the amount of lives, now double the amount of lives for themselves here. Just need to close out the round and find a few more kills on the 705 players.
I think it's just moments like that, Jesse, that make your point of a hot and cold roster here on 705 true, when you just see players who are able to turn up individually on their own, like Royalty just did right there. But 5 lives to 12. Electrify Steel, they are set up in perfect positioning to close out this round. All they need to do is either burn 50 seconds or cut down 4 more players inside of this roster. Cryptic's gonna find Diamondcon, slides on out, gonna find Classic as well. Doubles down at 5 in a row. Won't be able to stay alive and turn it into streaks, as Royalty will be able to cut him down. Now last little overextension, last ditch effort here out of 705. Royalty will be shut down, and Mind is going to find the rest. Electrify Steel, they bounce back with a defensive round, and they're only giving up, what, 4 ticks of progression inside of it.
Yeah, really, really good round there. Just to completely shut down 705. And like you said, only 4 ticks of progression. You will take that every day of the week, especially considering you lost out on that first round. The big thing coming out of that round, though, for me, though, is the fact that Kaiser gets full streaked inside of that round. Those streaks can open up so many opportunities on offense for a team that already won offense without even needing to use streaks. Electrified Steel very much so feels like they are in the driver's seat right now inside of this game. After losing that round number 1, bounce back to the huge round number 2, and now straight into that round 3. And so this could get really, really scary here for 705. They need to take control of this round very early on.
They do. So far, so good. Classic rings off with 2. Diamond on a 3rd, and look at this. You're going to look at player number 3, Pristini, already up in the faces of Electrify Steel, seeing if he can cut down some of these respawns. And Cryptic has no idea he's going to be there. Pristini's going to find a second one on a mine. Nice shots there. Allows Diamond on in. 3 down again, Jesse. It's going to be a full 4 down. What a wipe.
That's exactly what you needed if you were 705, and now Royalty's going to fly forward as well. Continue trying to just pin these Electrify Steel players in the back. Those are gunfights that you just cannot lose. You cannot allow Royalty just to stay alive over on the beach for as long as he has. Pops off another one on a 3 spree now. And, I mean, if you were ever pinned in the back of your spawn or wondering what it looked like from the other side, this is exactly the POV you want to see right now. Oh, my God.
Royalty! Oh, man! 27-16. What a start here from 705 into the round. Exactly what you asked for, Jesse. They answer with something I think even better than what you asked for. Cryptic will find an opening now, looking for the overextension. 15 seconds left. 5 spree for Classic. Streaks might be on the mind as well of the 705 roster, but Classic will be able to be cut down by Yuli. 5 seconds left. Electrify Steel, they hop into the zone. Mine's able to double down. No chance. It is a Hail Mary right now. Royalty's just got a barrel on it, and Yuli shuts the door. A tick will be gained. 14 lives to 21, Jester. I mean, this is not over, but you have to think that this would be crazy comeback. As you can see, a nade from Royalty. Classic's going to take down 1. 3 go down again. 3.6 seconds left. This round should be over.
There we go. Now that they get that final wipe, that will absolutely be the final round. 705 will walk away with it, and because they barely allow any ticks of progression, that's actually going to be 705 getting the final defense as well, Colin. So as bad as that last offense looked from 705, they come back with a absolutely steaming defense out of them. I said they need to take control of the map very early on inside of that round. Well, they said, you know what, Jesse, absolutely, sir. We will do everything that you need.
It's our map.
Just take absolute control of the map. I mean, the things that we saw Royalty doing on the top side of the beach is just not okay to be doing to another human being. Let's just leave it at that. Just tearing things up for the roster. And now 705 on defense. I mean, they're in the driver's seat now, right?
Oh, they're sailing the ship, Jesse. They're the captain now of Cavite. All hands on deck for 705 Esports as they're going to open up with 2-1 trade. Kaiser keeps it even. Royalty now looking to put pressure on the respawns. Lines up 2, only good for 1. As this is a lot better from Electrify Steel than we saw in the last round. But big chance here from Diamond to get around the back. I think that was a nade from Pristini that blew up in his face. And you wish you could get that one back if you were 705 Esports. But now a chance for Electrify Steel to start to get something going.
One thing I don't want us to do is just kind of forget the fact that Electrify Steel was able to win that first round of offense for themselves, and the way that they were able to do it, and the fact that they still do have those full streaks on the side of Kaiser as well. So even though they lost that last round out, still very much so have a possibility of being able to win this round. That they will hop onto B, and actually going to choose to invest the glide bomb early on here inside of this round. I'm actually not too sure I like that play, because you've only got Yuli now pushed up towards the B zone, and if the Yuli gets shut down, that's all your progress and your streak gone.
We're going to steamroll the game, although maybe a little mistimed. I think you say, Jesse, Yuli overwhelmed and outgunned. 14 lives to 19, an advantage for Electrify Steel, but the time is ticking down. You got 30 seconds to make this happen, and you saw 705 Esports a couple rounds ago on their defense, Jesse. Yeah, they weren't able to walk away with it, but they were able to cut down a lot of time. So if Electrify Steel want to walk away with this round, you need to start looking at this time clock and push this up. And take a look at Classic. Player number 1 on the
Big
minimap.
fan of this play.
All the way in the enemy spawn.
Basically what 705 is doing right now is stretching across the map, so that as soon as Electrify Steel try to start coming out of the A zone, and after finishing it off, they're just going to try to pick them off one by one. But unfortunately, on the overextension, they lose out on a lot of their gunfights. The 4-life lead will still very much so be here for Electrify Steel, and Mind is just big chilling on the hill right now. Should be able to finish this zone off very easily here. But like I said, you've got that widespread across the beach here if you're 705. You can definitely bring this life count back in your favor. You just need to make sure you're winning out on some of these gunfights here.
Oh, Yuli is skating inside the ring. Now 9 lives to 14. Electrify Steel, a chance to snowball in the zone. If you're 705 Esports, you really need to pivot some attention over towards the beaches, really slow things down and set up these power positions, and they have right now. Really on the forward progression here. He's going to be on 52 HP. Cryptic on the Overwatch takes down Diamondcon. All 4 players here for Electrify Steel now to barrel on out and surge on forward. But can they find the kills? Cryptic gets shut down by Pastini, and Yuli, ultimately, you need to go big in this position. It doesn't seem like he's able to make anything happen at all. Will be cut down by Classic, and 705 Esports have completely put a pin in that offense.
Oh, no, and Classic got away with his life, too, so that's still going to be a life count going back in towards the favor of 705.
Oh.
Classic doubles up, too, inside a ring as well, and now a life count that was once a 12v6, now down to just 8v6. Make that 7v6 as Classic continues the tear of the ring right now. And Electrify Steel now pinned into the back of their spawn in a very rough spot here. Only 20 seconds left to get back inside of Zone B.
He's the Lord of the Ring right now. 34 and 25 on 5 in a row. Single-handedly holding off the Electrify Steel offense. As you can see, one last desperation play coming out from this offensive team. Classic gets cut down by Kaiser. 3 players left. Royalty picking away at these numbers. 3 seconds left. Diamondcon on the crossfire. Yuli, last chance. Cryptic's gonna go down. Yuli's gonna go down. And 705 Esports take Gavitu control.
What a hold inside of Gavitu. A 6v12 hold to close off the map. After seeing back-to-back offensive wins, we see back-to-back-to-back defensive wins, and 705 walks away with the map victory there. A little 3-2 victory for themselves.
Wow.
And you know what? Honestly, Electrify Steel felt very much so like they were in the driver's seat for a lot of that game there. And you know they're going to be kicking themselves now, allowing 705 to be able to get themselves back into this series, going towards another hard point. And I honestly cannot see a way, or not that I can't see a way, but I think it's a very hard job to be able to take 2 hard points off the 705 Esports team. I think we're going to end up seeing a map 5.
I mean, it's a chance that we're looking forward to, Jesse. I mean, Electrify Steel, they kind of let off the gas a little bit. Well, I wouldn't say they let off the gas at all. I think 705 Esports just stepped up their game.
I think they stepped on the gas a little bit.
Oh, I completely agree with that one. But, you know, other than 705 Esports and Electrify Steel, I do want to take some attention to the rest of the games that we did have, because Toronto Ultra NA 3-0 Iron Blood Gaming with a 250 to 222 on Berlin Hardpoint, a 6-1 on Bouquet Search, and a 3-2 on Berlin Control. So that's a big one right there for Toronto Ultra NA, 3-0ing the Cup 10 champions over on Iron Blood Gaming. As we look at our Charlie stream, and it's going to be Valor Esports down 2-1 as Trash Bros 3-0 their Tuscan Control.
Trash Bros really making a big stink down there. I mean, they really could have 3-0'd that if they were able to hold on for what, 10 more seconds inside of P1 of that first hill. Man, I love this. It's like we're in NFL Red Zone, but you know, we're just watching all things Call of Duty. I mean, like, I know I haven't been around too much to do a lot of the clutch kind of coverage this year over this, but I just absolutely, I'm here for it, man. We get to watch 3 games at once. We keep all our tabs open. We keep everything locked and loaded. And I mean, this has just been honestly an insane first series here. 705 Electrify Steel going towards Epicosh Hardpoint, and then what was the other one that we're keeping our eyes on? It is Valor and Trash Bros, and they're going to be going to the Gavutu Hardpoint next for themselves as well. So that should be a really interesting one there to see how that one kind of plays out. Honestly, Colin, I would be absolutely down for double game 5s. I don't know about you.
I would be so down. I mean, this is what we're here for. I mean, it's Challengers Elite Season 3. This is the halfway mark, I'd say, for the season of Challengers, and this is where a lot of teams, they need to step up. So right now, if you're Valor Esports, you need to step up. You're down 0-4 instead of the season so far. You don't want to be down 0-5 because you might be chalking up the season after that. And you can see above us, they're going to have to take this game number 4 to go the distance to that Bocage Search and Destroy. And talk to me, Jesse, because we've already seen a Gavitu Hardpoint today. Valor Esports, what would you need to see out of them going into this Yeez, Rex, Exotic, and Phantoms roster?
I actually think that this map could really play well into their favor going towards the Gavutu just because of how many good ARs are on this team right now. I mean, you got Exotic, who is a fantastic AR, and you've got Phantoms, who's a really good AR. We've seen it multiple times, whether it be throughout Challengers or even through the CCL this year. Me and you have covered Phantoms, and he seems to just have people on Gavutu Hardpoint. This is a map that, you know what, they're definitely not the worst at, definitely not the best at for themselves. Actually, this is going to be the first Gavutu Hardpoint that they play inside of this stage as well. So that kind of makes it a little bit more interesting for Valor, the fact that they haven't played it too much yet. But 0-4 on Berlin going into this one. I mean, I can see why they wouldn't want to play another Berlin. They want to go towards a Gavutu instead. And I mean, if they want to walk away with it, it's probably just going to end up having to be just playing kind of systematic. I know I use that excuse all the time, or use that saying all the time, but it's one of those maps where as long as you're over rotating and you're getting to the hills first, it's going to make the job of your opponents that much harder inside of the map to be able to win those maps out. So as long as you get there first, you set up your strong hills, and you know the setups that you need to have to be able to win out. I mean, they absolutely have what it takes to do it with the talent on this team.
And Jesse, this is a Trash Bros team that didn't qualify for this elites. They, in fact, took Texas Nation's spot and turned up with 10-5 in a map count, 3-1 so far after week number 1, completely seizing this opportunity that they have been giving, and they look good. So putting this away here, I mean, it would be on par with what we've seen so far out of this Trash Bros roster. As you can see, 17-2 right off the rip. It's going to be 3 down for Valor Esports. He's making the full wrap around. I think Trash Bros are aware of this. As you see, those arrows are turning around, but he's taking this patiently. Hasn't hopped up just yet. Has a little bit of help. Phantom's actually going to catch him with a nade, and Exotic luckily there for the break. That could have got a little out of hand.
Oh, and Exotic's not going to get challenged either by the rest of the Trash Bros players. Trash Bros just wants to put their full focus now on the LST ship. They're like, hey, you know what? We already got 30 seconds there. We don't really need any bit of that little scrap time there. So Valor will get a free 17 seconds. Now the rotation's here over towards P2. It's going to be really, really important. Hollow through middle of the map. Can't win out on that gunfight. But you've just got so many players cutting off different angles here for Trash Bros, making it very hard for Valor to be able to push into the new hill.
The kill out of Rex. He's going to double down. That's the break from the front. And they hold on. You see Hollow still alive inside the LST ship. Will be able to find a trade. Take out that player from Valor, but still the time ticking in the way of Valor Esports so far. Hollow alive on the top deck. Finally cut down by Dylan Rex. And that is going to be the full break from Valor Esports. Last player alive on that half of the map is going to be Jintroid, looking to make a Hail Mary play to pull these spawns, Jesse. But Valor Esports, I mean, you have to be looking at this hill number 2 and, you know, walking around with your head up high, knowing that you kept Trash Bros out for that long.
Absolutely. And the fact that Trash Bros had the early setup, the fact that you're able to, not like you said, not only walk away with that much time, but also kind of just stop them from being able to get any time for themselves, helps out quite a bit there inside of that. Now pushing over towards New, this is a good chance for Valor to be able to bring themselves back inside of this game, maybe even take the lead here at the end of this hill. And you know what? If they can find a cheeky rotation out of it, this could really be a turning point here inside of this map.
Turn things around. Jintroid, though, has other ideas. He's going to completely break from the front with a pistol. And then Rex, a little bit staggered out here. Going to be caught down by Hollow. Inside ring. And Valor Esports a chance to flip things around. But Trash Bros keeping control of their lead. And player number 6, Venom, going to make the full wrap around. Rex is going to catch this out. Big one-on-one, but Venom puts him down. What a win there. That's going to flip this out again.
Oh, no. You remember when I said that this could be a really big turning point? Well, Trash Bros said, hey, you know what? I want that turning point for ourselves, as they not only are fighting this and holding from the front of the hill, and now only allowing Valor to pick up the back 10 seconds of this hill. They've also got the full rotation. They've got every angle watched as Mock picks up a massive kill on Exotic through the LST ship. It doesn't even matter that he falls there, because look at the rotations.
Yes.
You've got Venom already inside of the hill. You're just going to spawn him pretty much where you died if you're Mock, and now you've just got a perfect setup here for Trash Bros over towards P4.
Yeah, full control of Gavitu right now. He's looking for Jintroid around the outside, has lost all of his teammates, now alive on 12 HP. You need something big here if you're Valor Esports. Still 35 seconds into this hill. It looks like Yeez is going to take a shot at it. Look at Monk's positioning. He's laying prone. He's watching it like a hawk. Jintroid's going to shut down Rex on the opposite end of the map. You can see Valor scratching at their heads on what to do. It's finally going to be a break right from the front of the hill. Yeez is going to get in. And suddenly some stabilization out of Valor for a moment. But Trash Bros immediately took the call. 127-51. And Trash Bros are not even done with this scrap time yet.
Is it stabilization for Valor, or is that Trash Bros just making another heads-up play and a beautiful rotation across the map? Everybody pushes forward, forces the spawns for Valor inside of the beach side of the map, and now you get a perfect rotation once again here for Trash Bros over towards Docks. First team there, first team set up, ready to go, and you've got Valor completely spawning across the opposite side of the map once again.
Just seems they've been ping-ponging away from where they need to be, Jesse. Now, you need something quick out of Valor before things get out of hand. You're down almost 100 points. This is where you need to put your foot down. That's a good 3 down. Look at the break. You get a spawn up out of Trash Bros. It's going to be right there, but wow, that is a needed break from Valor. They're going to find 2 down inside the hill. Now Rex looking to set up on the crossfire, but nothing really set up steady. You got Exotic watching like a hawk from over P1. It looks like Trash Bros, they have an idea on what they want to do.
They absolutely do. But you do have a player here in Exotic just being a nuisance inside of Ring right now. This does open up an opportunity now for Valor to make the rotation over towards P1, get a good setup, and try to bring themselves back into this game. A good full 60 hold will bring them back to within 20 seconds here, as you see a double the point lead here for Trash Bros off the start of this game. A nice little 80-point lead, but this is exactly what you needed for your Valor. Off the start of the new hill, off the start of the new set of rotations, you get control of P1, you start to bring yourselves back into it.
Slow and steady, Jesse. It wins the race. I've heard that story again and again on time. You're going to need this from Valor Esports. If they want to take this to a map 5, they have to take this Gavin 2 Hardpoint down 164 to 99. It was a good roll through that P5, but you're going to need a break here. Venom on the respawn is going to catch Rex with shots from the behind. And that's going to allow Trash Bros now to just flood the line, take down these routes, and ultimately just overwhelm this Valor Esports roster.
And this was something Trash Bros did really well in the first set of rotations, was get the rotation from P1 over to P2 and get full control of the LST ship. I say that like they didn't do a great job of rotating from P2 to P3 to P4 to P5, because they just held on to every single rotation inside of the last hill and showing their prowess here. Once again, inside of the second set, they will be the first team ready to go and set up inside of P2, and it's going to be Valor once again looking for a very early break inside of this.
He's looking for the outside in, Jesse. He's an Exotic. You're going to double down. Now a chance on the inside. He's with the pistol. Finds one. You need something from Exotic here, but Gentroid clutching up with 2. Now looking to hold off the line, and he is getting it done. Another one on Phantoms. Hops up to the top deck. 12 HP in a dream. 3 in a row. Make it 4 in a row for Gentroid, as he has been picking apart Valor Esports on the rotation to P2. Haven't yet picked up a lot of time, Jesse, but they've just been denying so much at this Valor Esports roster.
And Gentroid, the solo reason as to why you don't have a Valor hold going on here at the moment. Just able to pick them off one at a time through the middle of the map and just being an absolute nuisance on this LST ship. At the very least, if you're Valor, you should have the rotations on lock over towards West Beach, but you were broken extremely early in the last set of rotations here. Cannot allow that to happen again with how close Trash Bros is getting and winning this game.
This is where comebacks are born, Jesse, right here. I mean, legends are born as well, but I mean, a comeback here would make it so. Look at where
they got the back spawns.
Look at where Trash Bros are spawning up, and they have a chance now to set up with a pinch onto the players inside Ring. They're going to find 2 down. Now a chance to collapse onto the last Exotic, and Phantoms alone inside the hill. Now it's just Phantoms. Mock wants to take this with a pistol, and Rex comes to the rescue off the respawn. Luckily, Phantoms had some teammates there, because that might have got a little out of hand.
It's like the first big hold that we've seen be able to come through for Valor when Trash Bros are surging and trying to make a break into one of these hills. So exactly what you need there if you're Valor, just to kind of bring yourselves back in, get a little bit of confidence back in your favor. Does not help when Mox is able to pink you off like that. Now trying to make his push in towards the old hill. The big issue right now that I'm seeing for Valor is that Trash Bros are 32 seconds away from closing this game out, and you do not have any bit of a presence over towards the new hill. And this could very much so look like what we saw in the last set of rotations.
We need a flawless break here from Valor Esports. Easy going to get cut down all the way on the opposite side of the map. It's going to be 2 players inside the hill, and you imagine that Trash Bros are aware of this. They're going to pivot around. Mock's going to take down Exotic. The spawn's coming in from Valor Esports here. Trash Bros playing for the long game. Even if they get broken here, it still is going to be out of hands. Mock's going to shut down Phantoms. The second out of Venom, that's going to be all 3 down in the back line. And Trash Bros are going to shut down the series 3-1 with a 250 to 154 win on Gavin 2 Hardpoint.
I mean, they just never didn't have control of that map, it felt like. I mean, yeah, you get a good, decent effort out of Valor there towards the later half of the game when you throw up a few points here and there. You get a couple breaks here and there. But that rotation in the first set, Colin, was just ridiculous from the side of Trash Bros. The fact that, you know what, P1 was a little scrappy. They walk away with, what, the 30 to 17 point lead. You go over to P2, you get the full setup that you want. You walk away still with, what, around a 30-point lead. But it was the P3, 4 to 5 for me that if you can lock down those rotations on Gabutu, you can walk away with like a 120-point lead from that set of hills. And they walk away with an 80-point lead. So still a very good lead from themselves. But just the fact that they were able to break into P3 as easily as they did, hold it from the front, and then also get the perfect rotation over towards P4, And then right at the end of P4, when Valor was trying to break from the front, they just all pushed forward, allowed Valor to get the back spawns, and then had the perfect rotation over towards P5. I mean, if they held P5 for any longer, they would have won that game by a ridiculous margin as well. So, I mean, just Trash Bros, just a masterclass through the first set of rotations.
Just fantastic map in general to them on Hardpoint. An answer back to that Tuscan loss that they had at the start of this to Valor Esports. So you look at the scoreboard right here and just take a look at Hollow. 26 and 15, 18 of those kills untraded, but Mock right alongside him. 18 untraded kills, 23 and 19. Two big games out of that. And I mean, Valor Esports, they weren't, falling too far behind when you're looking at Rex and Exotic, who are putting up the big numbers. But you just take a look at, Yeez and Phantoms not having a great map there.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely not what you want to see out of Yeez and Phantoms. One thing I actually want to point out, too, is Jintroid, the worst player on Trash Bros at 16 and 23. 2,600 damage still, though. So only 200 damage off the top player in Hollow and had 10 less kills. So that just tells you, even though not finding all the kills and just finding important kills, one that we saw what was in the second set of rotations on that LST ship that were massive for Trash Bros to be able to hold on to a ton of time. But also, I mean, just the fact you put out that much damage as the bottom fragger on the team, you're going to be going places for this team. And yeah, I mean, I'm right there with you. Definitely not a performance you expect to see from Yeez and Phantoms. You expect to see better. I especially from Phantoms. I mean, an AR player on Gavutu, you expect to see him just kind of having bad other players, just doing exactly what he needs to do, but just couldn't find any rhythm on side of the map.
That's going to bring Valor Esports, Jesse, 0-5 inside Season 3 of the Elites. 6 and 15 in map count as well. This is just not what we expected from this roster heading into the Elite season. But Trash Bros, I talked about that opportunity that they got. They take control of Texas Nation's spot inside of Season 3, and they haven't looked back. Now 4-1 inside of Elite Season 3. This team, they look great.
Yeah, I mean, those are just crazy numbers and a crazy way to just take full hold of any situation that you can for yourselves. I mean, you absolutely love to see a team that comes in and just takes control of any little opportunity that you get and just run away with it. And it's exactly what this team in Trash Bros needed too. Gave them a little bit more time to kind of be able to play together, get a little bit more kind of momentum rolling in their way. And I always say with these challenger teams, if you stay together longer, you will find success. And as long as you stop playing kind of, I don't want to say like musical chairs with your rosters, if you will, because that's what it feels like a lot of times, especially in the NA challenger scene. I feel like you'll find a lot more success. And now this team's gotten to roll together. They've gotten to play together a little bit more. And now they're finding a lot of success here inside of Challengers Elite Stage 3.
Can't wait to see what's next with them, folks. But it seems like the mainstream took over the 705 matchup between what was it? Electrify Steel. So we're going to hop to a break while we get things going with our second set of matches, and we'll see you there. Take care, have a break, grab some snacks. We'll be back with the Challenger Elite Season 3 Clutch stream. Folks, welcome back to the North American Challenger Elite Season 3. My name is Seymour. Alongside me is Cruz. We're hopping in with our second main match of the day. We got Whatever It Takes going up against Ironblood Gaming. And Jesse, these two teams, kind of two sides of the different spectrum. Ironblood starting to fall behind, and Whatever It Takes, they are rising to the top.
Yeah, Ironblood's kind of in that spot now, at 2 and 3, where you're in a rough spot. If you want to be able to make it out, you gotta kind of walk away with a victory here today. At least get yourselves back to 3 and 3 before we go into the final day of the group stage tomorrow. So, I mean, if you're Ironblood, you're not in a great spot, but this is honestly your big opportunity to kind of take one of those teams that's a little bit further ahead of you and bring yourselves more to kind of a shooting range with them.
When you look at this Whatever It Takes roster, since picking up Neptune and Major Maniac, Jesse, I feel like every single series that we see them, they just get better and better. And that's expected from two players like Neptune and Major Maniac, who have had great careers behind them. But you look at the two players that have been kind of solidifying this roster since then, it's Brack and Turiel, who have had unbelievably great starts to this year. Inside of Vanguard in general, I mean, they've impressed me, and now stacked onto a roster with Neptune and Major Maniac, 4-1 record into the Elite Stage 3. I mean, this team, like I said, they just keep getting better and better.
It's kind of a team that you expect to just get better and better, right? Like when you look at that team as an overall team, and it just goes back to my point that I was making before the break, like if you can stick together long enough in challengers with the amount of talented players that we have, you will eventually start to find success. I mean, like, I know there are some unfixable situations, but this team is definitely feeling like they're starting to find their groove now, especially after the first match that we saw them in last week, and now to 4-1 on the season. They're exactly where they want to be, and surely with another win here, they should be able to lock themselves inside of a top 4 spot.
And on the opposite end of the board, Ironblood Gaming on a downward trend going into this Elite State Season 3, looking to get something going and maybe go 3-3 in their record at the end of today. But a start so far in favor of Whatever It Takes. Collecting time inside this hill. Number one, you can see a few gunfights ringing out around the map. Major Maniac on an island. He's at least going to walk away with 2. Neptune to clean up the last. It's 4 down again, as you can see now. Whatever It Takes. They have Ironblood spawning up back towards docks, and they have the rotation on lock.
A little surprised to see Major Maniac running the sub in his hand, but I mean, absolutely working out in his favor right now. He was just kind of dropping players inside of fire, but now the main rotation going over towards the mailroom hill, over towards our P2. And I mean, it's been very scrappy so far here, because Whatever It Takes with only 2 players on the rotation have done a great job of locking things down, not allowing Ironblood to really get very comfortable over here. And this has been a fantastic rotation here from Whatever It Takes.
And you can see they completely spawn out Ironblood Gaming now towards the back of the train yard, trying to pin them back here for the better spawns at the P3, but the gunfire has been trading out into a favor that Ironblood Gaming haven't really given up a lot of time. So battling back into this P2, looking to put some time on their board. In goes Noisy. He's going to find Brack up top in the second to go down for Whatever It Takes. You see a couple players still here from Whatever It Takes to take a shot at this. Player number 4 in general. You're looking at Turiel on that second floor of this mailroom. It's going to be cut down. Now all that's left is going to be Neptune for the scrap time. And as he falls, you can look to the rotations over to P3. Whatever It Takes, they're going to be there. But Exceed looking to make a play, and Turiel is going to put a pin in it.
Scrap time will put us at practically a tie game here for Ironblood Gaming, basically to tie the game up. Actually, it will put us at exactly a tie game here at 41 apiece. But like you called out, Whatever It Takes very much to the first team here on the rotation. You can see Ironblood, they're going to be trying to break in from the front. Those are some nasty shots from Turiel to shut that down completely. And Ironblood, they're going to basically have to kind of scrap everything there, all rotate back up, get together again, and try to make another big push of this hill.
Turiel, they know he's here, but and he walk away with some kills. Tag down to 10 HP. Looking to finesse his life, although Exceed's going to shut him down. A chance for Ironblood to break. They have a pinch set up into the contention, but look at that kill feed. It's a sea of blue. They're going to be spawning Ironblood Gaming all the way in the back, so we'll have a chance to recontest this once again with 30 seconds left in this time clock, but they need to start walking away with some kills. A nade from Exceed. Going to find Brack, but Noisy as well. 3-on-3 on the inside. A trade again. It's going to leave this even. Major Maniac slides on forward, but it's going to be Turiel to clean things up, keeping time on the hand of Whatever It Takes for a few more seconds before Ironblood Gaming can get in there.
I know you don't always want to have your team, spawning on the favorite spawns, but if you ever did, it was in that exact time period that you just had for Whatever It Takes. They have Ironblood Gaming spawn up in behind them on the left-hand side up towards that crane. And it just works out perfectly, because now they can just say, hey, you know what? You guys take that back 13. We're going to push all the way across the map towards train, set up for a full 60 here of our own. And wow, what a fantastic setup this is so far. 3 players go down, and it's really only Assault who's the furthest player push forward. And if they keep doing this on every hill column where they just rotate early, they hold on to the first 30, 30, it's going to make it very, very challenging for Iron Blood Gaming to make a comeback here inside of this map.
Well, it's going to be so challenging. It's always hard when you're chasing ghosts, Jesse, and Iron Blood Gaming just have never been able to catch up inside of this first map. Whatever it takes, are running circles around them. Another 3 go down. Player number 5, Noisy, looking to hold his life up inside mail room, although kind of trapped right now to make something happen. You're going to need some individual plays to start popping off here for Iron Blood Gaming if they want to get things going, but Noisy's going to drop, and that's going to give up that mail control.
That mail control could honestly just allude to another good setup here for whatever it takes. Two Real's in a really, really annoying spot where if he pushes across the middle of this map and is able to pick a couple of these Iron Blood Gaming players off as they push across, and it's exactly what he does. It's a flawless rotation once again here from whatever it takes. I mean, this is getting really, really ugly really early on, and we should easily be at a 100-point lead before Iron Blood Gaming can even sniff this hill.
I mean, you read my mind there. And even still, the carnage continuing from whatever it takes as they're cutting down these players off the respawn. Finally, Exceed's going to hop into this hill, finds a break onto Neptune, going to elude or get rid of a little bit of pressure there. But the spawns flip, and whatever it takes, they're looking one step ahead once more. They play Iron Blood Gaming like a fiddle, Jesse, and they've just been realistically eating out of the hands of whatever it takes since the start of this map.
Exactly what you need to do, and now whatever it takes. Again, they flip the spawns out. They get the side they want here for the new hill. If you're Iron Blood and you're heading into the second set of rotations, I think that you just throw the caution to the wind right now and just kind of send everybody at this new hill. You need to find a way to break these spawns in the back. You can't allow whatever it takes to get another full setup here on P1 and rack up a good ton of time here. But, I mean, it's just too hard when you've got whatever it takes just playing so systematic, shutting you down, playing all the trades off each other perfectly. And look at how far pushed up you've got player number 3. Brack will end up falling, but the callouts come through. He cuts off a couple of the players on the rotation. It just makes the job for Iron Blood Gaming that much more annoying every time they need to try to break into one of these hills.
Everybody on Iron Blood Gaming, negative. Whatever it takes, thriving so far inside this map. 100-point lead. Brack ripping heads off of that windowsill. As you can see, still players here from Iron Blood Gaming around the outside that just haven't been able to break inside of this hill. You're going to get a flank at a Noisy. Gets into the hill for the contention. 3 in a row for Noisy. Can he keep this life alive? He will with the help of Exceed. It's going to be 4 down for whatever it takes. Finally, some stability from Iron Blood Gaming, but it has to be something big for this transition to P2.
That was so needed there for Iron Blood Gaming. One thing, Colin, that I want to pull up is just Noisy. 8 and 14, not numbers that we expect to see out of the kid. I mean, he has been a staple in terms of just being as consistent as possible, running that submachine gun roll, really having a rough map here inside of map number 1, but finds himself on a 3 spree. Maybe this is the time where he needs to be able to bring himself back into a positive light here inside of this map.
On the rotation as well to P3, some crucial kills going to be coming through from Noisy on the inside of this hill. It's been nothing but whatever it takes. Still collecting time as there's 41 seconds. Noisy has to get into things. Chalks up that P3 rotation. Going to hop in to help his team. Breaks from the front, but Real puts an end to that streak. Luckily, his teammates still around this hill, putting up damage. It's going to be almost a kill from Assault with the beatdown, but now you're looking at Exceed to clean up the rest of them. But whatever it takes, they're just too icy right now, Jesse. They're holding onto this hill with everything they got.
It's back-to-back times, though, we've headed over to P2 as well. And you've had Iron Blood Gaming with the good spawns the entire time, but whatever it takes just is annoying from the front. They fight everything, and they just make it so hard to be able to hold on to a significant amount of time there, along with holding on to P3 spawns and never giving up this fire building. It just works out so well for them. It's almost a picture-in-picture of what we saw in the first set of rotations, and whatever it takes is just reaping the rewards of it here once again. But you can see Iron Blood Gaming, they want to try to group up and try to hit this one from the front, but what they don't realize is 2 Real spawned out.
See, playing the slow play around the back. 2 Real's going to find 2. In behind now, a chance to shut down the rest. 3 in a row for 2 Real as he's completely put a stop to that flank. Exceed still alive is going to keep things going for Iron Blood Gaming. Some big individual plays coming through out of Iron Blood Gaming. They find the break into the hill, but whatever it takes, they've amassed that 200-point marker. They're still going to send bodies towards this hill, Jesse, because they know they will have those rotations over to P4, or they should have them. As you can see, Iron Blood Gaming have completely been flipped out of this hill, and now a chance to get something going from P3 to P4.
I feel like Iron Blood's getting a little bit blessed with spawns throughout a lot of this, but you know what? They absolutely need it right now, so they'll take whatever they can get, because whatever it takes will take these back 7 seconds here. They're going to be at 231 points if they hold on to the remainder of it. They're going to hop off, of course, and make me look like a little bit of a liar, so 227 will be where they finish off inside of P3. Now heading over towards our 4th hill. It's a very good spot here for whatever it takes to be able to try to close this one out. It's just going to be all about this hit from the front.
an easy break to have, but when you have Neptune shooting like that, it's going to give a little bit leeway. Brack from the side is going to find the crossfire, and the break's going to come through as easy as 1, 2, 3. Now, Turiel up top inside the nest. He can put so much damage down with his automaton. You're looking at player number 7, Welly, the only player really in a position to spoil the fun. He's going to hop in, take out Brack. Nobody in the hill for whatever it takes. Neptune's going to hop back in for this time. 15 seconds left, and whatever it takes can take this map number 1. You still have players from Iron Blood Gaming off the respawn, punishing. And they're going to hold on a little bit, Jesse, but right now you have to be careful and cautious if you're Iron Blood Gaming going through this 5th rotation.
Yeah, you absolutely do. I mean, whatever it takes, still only 12 seconds away from closing this game out, and they can get that at literally any point in time throughout any of these next 3 hills. If you're Iron Blood Gaming, it needs to be really, really good COD from this point on. You really can't afford any more mistakes. You can't even afford, really, for whatever it takes to hop onto the hill for any small little bit of time here, because it will just put them closer and closer to being able to put the game away. But another break comes through. They'll hop onto the new hill, and they can honestly put this one away right here.
Again, every single time we see Turiel, he's always putting up 1, maybe even 2 kills on the board. Sometimes even 3 if he just decides to, but it's going to be Neptune alongside him to break that hill once more. Nobody collecting time. You see, whatever it takes, looking for the long haul right now. They have the rotations to P1, so they don't have to put it away right here, although they might want to put it away. Assault has been picking away at these heads. As soon as they hop into it, you got Welly working around the back. He's going to find Neptune inside that office, spawning out whatever it takes. Now it's the opposite side of the map. Iron Blood Gaming somehow finding some very major rotation kills, Jesse, as Noisy is going to clean up Major Maniac back over at P1.
This is massive. I mean, they're keeping themselves inside of this game. Whatever it takes, should be able to pick up the scrap time here. No, they'll actually get hit out one last time. Welly makes one more shot at trying to stop them from being able to get scrap time. It works out perfectly. Now you've got a full setup here for Iron Blood Gaming. They're really starting to pick it up. Noisy's on another 3 spree, 18 and 21. Will be the furthest player push forward, will end up falling, but it just gives those callouts once again to your team. You can start to knock these players down one after another off spawn over towards the straight side of the map. This is working out really well for Iron Blood Gaming right now, but it still needs to be perfect. Only 7 seconds left needed for whatever it takes to close it out. All they need is 1 break.
Free flooding from the front. Neptune's getting cleaned up from the back. All attention to the front of this hill if you're Iron Blood. You can see Turiel going for the full wrap around. Brack's going to catch Welly with a nade. Brack's going to find 2 to break. Noisy now has to go big inside this hill. He's going to be tucked down. Neptune cleans him up. 6 seconds left for whatever it takes to take this map number 1. And it doesn't look like anybody from Iron Blood Gaming can touch. So whatever it takes, they're going to get the job done. But hats off to Iron Blood. They made that competitive at the end.
I mean, yeah, they really brought that one back. That was very, very close towards the end game. But you know what? Hats off to Iron Blood. Able to bring it back. Able to make it a lot closer than it probably really should have been. In all honesty, it felt like I was saying forever there that whatever it takes just needed 1 break to be able to get in. It just felt like they were never able to get that 1 break. Hopefully we can get those stats back up on the screen in a second, because there was one thing that I wanted to point out in particular, and that was honestly Neptune through that first game. I know he didn't have the most kills on the team, didn't have the least deaths, but the role that Neptune was playing inside of that map with the submachine gun on Berlin, to be able to 1-drop a ton of numbers like he did, I believe he finished 4 positive, 2.5 minutes on the hill almost as well.
Yeah.
I mean, ridiculous numbers there coming out of Neptune, but you also had Major Maniac and you had Turiel both popping off as well inside of the kill feed. I was looking at Turiel almost throughout that entire game, but it was really Major Maniac at the very end. 31 and 23 with 13 assists as well. Ridiculous numbers, 3,500 damage. The 2 ARs absolutely tearing it up for whatever it takes.
It's the slow play that Major Maniac can have to just help you conduct the map to your own will and just wrap around so fluently throughout that whole Berlin. I mean, countless times, Jesse, we had really Iron Blood Gaming spawning on the opposite end of the hard points, and that's just because of the role that Major Maniac brings to this team. You can just see it's helping out players like Turiel to just run around the map rampant and put up numbers like he is.
Yeah, and I mean, if you are there as whatever it takes, you're looking at this like, oh man, we really should have closed this game out a lot sooner, especially when you look back at the numbers. I mean, only 1 player even sitting even inside of that game. Everybody else was very positive. I think the one thing I was surprised about that whole game there, Colin, is that we never saw streaks from whatever it takes, even when they were dominating through the first kind of 2.5 or 1.5 sets of rotations there, weren't able to find streaks. And I guess that was what always allowed Iron Blood to have that little bit of a chance to be able to bring themselves back to the game. But we can take a look at our full maps and modes here now. We just saw that Berlin, but now we go towards the Desert Siege S&D, and this is a complete change of pace, a whole 180 from a very fast-paced hardpoint map to an extremely slow-paced search and destroy map, unless everybody just decides to hit in through the middle of University, however.
And I feel like this is going to be another one that's dictated by the pacing and the gunfights of your AR players. Major Maniac is definitely going to have another big role inside of this Desert Siege. But at the same time, I mean, you can look across the field and you know that somebody on Ironblood Gaming potentially going to bring out that sniper rifle. Jesse,
I wonder who.
who's going to bring it out on either side too, because I'm not sure who on whatever it takes will rep that sniper on this roster. But on top of everything, I mean, you look at those assault rifle players to be playing such a big role towards that B site. But I mean, towards University, you look at, again, Too Real and Neptune had a fantastic game in that first one. You know, Neptune wasn't putting up those crazy numbers, but he was winning so many influential gunfights that University gunfight that we're eventually going to see out of those subs, I mean, you have to think whatever it takes, they're confident in their placing right now.
Yeah, I'd be a little bit scared if I was Ironblood to be able to take fights inside of that University, but I know one thing, and that's that Noisy, never going to be a player to kind of back down from a challenge, and a very good submachine gun player in his own rights, and I'm sure on a map where he's not going to have to worry about the AR pressure as much, especially if he's playing inside a University, could find an opportunity to pop off a little bit more. But I like that question that you brought up a little bit earlier on too, though. Who's going to run the snipers for either one of these two teams on this map? Because I really have no idea when I look at these two teams. I think probably Too Real on the side of whatever it takes. I feel like will end up being the sniper. Now, don't quote me on that. For some reason, I just feel like he will end up being the player. I actually have nothing to go off the back of that, so don't like I said, don't quote me on that. But on the opposite side, I have no idea for Ironblood Gaming who you put on the sniper. Maybe Exceed you put on the sniper, but you don't want to take an AR out of Adam Assault's hand, because I feel like that's where you always see Assault at his absolute strongest, is with an AR in his hand, just being able to beam down people. So I don't know. If we do see some sniper play, I'm not sure who we're going to see out of it.
I'd say maybe Too Real or Brack could be another player on whatever it takes, but at the same time, it's like taking those assault rifles out of their hands. Like, do you really want to do that on a map that's as big as Desert Siege? I mean, yeah, you can run double submachine gun and maybe mix up the ARs to pull out a sniper, but at the same time, I feel like Desert Siege is something that you want to have an automaton in your hands, albeit University, it's big on control, but at the same time, as soon as you exit University, that's where the ARs are definitely going to be having a lot of fun inside this map. I'm excited to see these two teams go toe-to-toe, but I'm going to take a look at our other matches as well, Jesse, because you got 705 Esports and Valor Esports going head-to-head on Bravo, and over on Charlie, you got Red Wolves versus Trash Bros, and guess what? Guess what? Trash Bros lost map 1 again, this time to Red Wolves, 250 to 232.
I mean, I don't know what's up with these guys. They can't win a map 1, but then, you know, you go into the rest of the series and they absolutely tear things up for the rest of the way through. I expect Trash Burst to hopefully, you know, come away with the win on that series. But you never know. That Red Wolves team is a weird one, right? They were able to take the first series of their Challengers Elite series, like kind of careers, up against Ultra NA, who is arguably the best North American Challengers team. And they took the series there, but have yet to be able to win another series since. So it's going to be really interesting to see if they can come out and they can do it against another top team right now in Trash Bros, who has really taken this Challengers Elite Stage 3 by storm.
And that really shake things up when you're looking at the standings, because the Louisville Red Wolves, I mean, 1-4 now. They don't have the easiest run to make it back, and wins against teams like Trash Bros are just going to allow, you know, somebody like Electrify Steel or Toronto Ultra Academy NA to just get back into that first, maybe second place spot of contention. So would really make things interesting for the rest of this week heading into the playoffs. But let's hop into this map 2 between Ironblood and Whatever It Takes, as you can immediately see Noisy rushing it right down into University, and Whatever It Takes, they don't contest this, they actually give it up.
Yeah, immediately, this is what they want to play for. They want that middle University control, and it will be Brack who will be the player holding the sniper in the back line. Exceed will find the kill. But it looks like Bomb right now very quickly heading over towards the A side of the map, and it should go down quite easily here. Noisy will plant that bomb down, and now it's just all about holding on for the retake here, as Whatever It Takes groups up on the right side.
It's a big trade out of Too Real. Even this one up for the retake. Welly, it's like he has a sinking feeling that he's about to be pressured out back here, but Neptune's gonna find a second. 28 seconds. Welly in a place to punish. A lot of information here, but he's last alive. 1v3, and this trigger discipline, this could be the end all be all, Jesse, of this round. And finally gonna strike, but oh no, you have to finish that. Major Maniac turns around and calls for Neptune to come out to help. Welly's still tearing things up. A chance now to make this happen, but you look at Too Real, he's already on this bomb, and this round is done.
Yeah, it's really, really tough, right? Like, you had the opportunity to be able to close that round out, but you just could not get it done, and that's Whatever It Takes walking away with a first round victory. As soon as that bomb went down, they just played for a full retake there. And I mean, you definitely had an opportunity in the back there for Welly, but it just felt like Welly, even though he was using great trigger discipline, could not catch a good timing to be able to shoot Major Maniac in the back. And then as soon as he did, Maniac got around the corner and it just put them in a great spot to be able to close that round out. It's a little bit of a rough spot to be in there for Iron Blood. You would have loved to have taken any little advantage you can against this whatever it takes team who is very clearly playing at a top level right now.
Heartbreaking. You ask me, Jesse, but an early trade once more into this round. Uses in a 3-on-3. Bomb down up top, University as well, so somebody on whatever it takes will have to go and collect that. And while that happens, Assault is going to find the head of Major Maniac, keeping Brack and Neptune now the last two alive, or whatever it takes to make a shot at this round. Brack with the bomb in hand, lurking over towards the A side. Still a lot of pressure here from Ironblood. You're going to need something from Neptune if Brack wants to get this bomb down.
Neptune needs to try to find a way to open things up there. I think he was going for a cheeky angle through the woods, seeing if he could find and spot out a player. Will spot out Exceed finally. Sees the barrel of the gun, gets away with the life as well, and instantly looks to try to make a wrap over towards B. See if he can spot out any of the players. He will spot Willie out on the cross as well. It's a perfect play out of himself, but unfortunately, in well doing that, Brack will fall, leaving him in a 1v1 now, trying to hunt down this last player in Assault.
Assault has wrapped this whole map around. He's going to be over towards the B side. Doesn't know that bomb is down towards Brack. So Neptune right now hunting, but at the same time, Assault just trying to finesse his life. He's going to have to check this bomb, but Neptune might catch the timing. Both players side by side. They just don't know. Assault finally going to get spotted, but there's just no time. Neptune has to chase this one down. No time to plant. Assault somehow wins that out. Just wrapping around and really dancing with Neptune.
Yeah, Neptune took a little bit too long there once he got put into that 1v1 situation to make a decision to go get the bomb and go get it down, and unfortunately was just never able to catch a timing out onto Assault there, and it's just perfectly played there from Assault. But Neptune will still find himself on 3 in a row. If he can find a way to kind of take control of that middle university again, could definitely find some success in these later rounds here. So we'll have to keep our eyes on that 3 spree, but it's looking like a very aggressive hit, either in towards University or over towards the A side of the map here for Ironblood.
7D through University. Look at this. Neptune has been able to slip the line to the staircase. Right now, Ironblood just looking for a way out. Nice shots from Exceed to take down Brack. Should call for Neptune to try and make a player on the outside. Knows well he's there. Spots him on the jump. Should be able to clean this one up. We're even in a 3-on-3. Neptune now giving away his position on 4 in a row as well, Jesse. So looking to stay alive over here at that B site. Well, the rest of his team picking over at A.
No,
Major Maniac. Did he not see him?
Must not have, and now it's going to leave Neptune in a not so great spot. Oh, he didn't catch the timing either. Will find one. Instantly hops the defuse though, and that should be on the kill cam. So Assault should make sure he makes the wrap over as quickly as possible. But at this time, Assault should realize that it has been a little bit of a bait. Unfortunately, falls perfectly for the bait, and Neptune now on 5 in a row and a defuse. That's a great round out of whatever it takes.
Fantastic round out for whatever it takes. And it's really Neptune on that play to take down Welly, forcing Ironblood Gaming to go to that A site, locking down B realistically with just 1 kill. And doing so, I mean, Noisy forced to put that bomb down, and Neptune so fast on the draw to wrap back over, so decisive, catches some pretty fantastic timing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Catches some great timing there, and now whatever it takes. I mean, they could realistically be up 3-0 here inside of this map. Just unfortunately did not get the bomb down inside of their last offense. They did a great job of taking control of the middle of the map, though. And it's going to be a stun over the top from Neptune. Try to get some information, won't get anything. And also won't be the first player in, so we'll know that there was a player down here at bottom. And oh no, swings a little too wide, wind up falling. And an instant 2v4 now for Ironblood Gaming.
Major Maniac fully wrapped around, spots Noisy with his pants down. Big kill to trade this one out. Assault's going to drop as well, so Major Maniac crucial kills to bring back this round. And Exceed has a sniper in hand, so not the gun of choice. Or clutching up, going to spot out Major Maniac, evens this up, 1v1. Bomb goes down. Brack, though, look at the mini-map, Jesse. Full wrap around. Number 7, Brack. He is completely in his spot to put this away. Should shoot Exceed in the back, and he's going to get it done. Whatever it takes, they even us up. No, they go up to 3.
I was getting a little nervous there for a second. You were like, yo, Exceed, not the weapon you want to clutch up. Instantly hits a quick scope to put us into a 1v1. You know, it got a little scary there towards the end, but you know what? They get the job done at the end of the day. And like you said, whatever it takes will now take that nice 3-1 lead that they need. I think the worst thing in that whole round is the fact that Neptune ends up losing out on those streaks. Because if you go up 3-1 and you end up finding streaks inside of that round, you could have been in a great spot to be able to close this one out. But now you just kind of open that little bit of a door up for Ironblood to still have a good chance at being able to take this game away. But it comes down to them probably needing to take an offense here and not go down 4-1.
Big win there from Major Maniac. It's not bombed down, but should be numbers. Almost a second on Welly as well. It's a little bit of an ego challenge save, but Neptune will be able to clean it up with the nade. On the hunt now for a second. He's got eyes on Exceed, and when he finds him, it's going to be a 1v2 assault on the back foot. Brack's positioning out into the dunes. Oh, he didn't see him. Oh, he didn't see him at all. Brack should be able to close this out once again, but at the same time, I mean, it's just another situation where they're just dancing around each other, Jesse, just like that previous round that assault won, and might be able to pay off, but Brack's just going to post up, wait for a chance, maybe find this. Spots out.
We saw him now.
Neptune's going to get the call to rotate. This is going to be the 4th round.
Oh, man, that was timing on timing on timing. And unfortunately for Assault this time through, it was just not timing into his favor. And will, unfortunately for himself, end up falling there inside of that round. And it's just a perfect situation for themselves to be in. And now you have a very good opportunity here for whatever it takes to really take this kind of map and start to run away with it. I think the one player I've been the most impressed with in this whole series so far has been Neptune, though. I mean, from getting dropped from NYSL to kind of tearing it up the way he is right now inside of this map mode combination, things you absolutely love to see, taking a rough situation and really turning it into the best possible outcome for yourselves here. Too Real and Co will all end up falling, though. That's a great break from Ironblood, and that's an extremely quick round inside of that B zone.
It's a big way to bounce back, and, you know, just to double up on your point from Neptune. I mean, he's playing with a chip on his shoulder. He knows he has something to prove, and he's proven it on this whatever it takes roster, and stacked alongside Major Maniac. You see just the two of them complementing each other inside of the map. But talk about that Ironblood Gaming shutdown right there. They completely fight fire with fire over towards B, and they just win it out. All their gunfights go their way.
They absolutely do, and now whatever it takes. I mean, you got to probably not do another push like that over towards B on your next offense. You don't want to just keep giving Ironblood easy round wins like that. And if Ironblood is just going to stack B, you just kind of need to take it out of the range at that point of time. But still not a terrible spot to be in. Ironblood will be looking like they want to push up to B themselves here. Get the bomb down for free as Too Real goes for a stun check. Won't actually hit anything with the stun check either, but the bomb going down will very much so alert him that there's a player over on that site.
Got the lineup for the nade. Tosses it out to the skies now. Can he take down Noisy? He can't. Noisy holds his own. Inside the bomb, he's going to find 2 as well. Finally taken down by Brack, but the damage has been done. And Brack all alone in a 1v2 with the time against him. 24 seconds to make something happen. You know Welly is inside the dunes. What you don't know is that Assault is hunting you. Finds the shots, cleans it up. Ironblood Gaming, they keep it going.
They absolutely do keep it going, and they close out another round. So they're really starting to claw their way back into this one. And this kind of goes back, calling to the note I made when they went up 3-1. I mean, they didn't get the glide bomb in that spot. Unfortunately, you don't end up getting that with Neptune in that situation. And it just opened the door up for Ironblood to have an opportunity to get back in. You get that glide bomb. It's probably another guaranteed round win if used the right way. And it really could have put a stranglehold on this Ironblood Gaming team. But now they're able to start to bring their way back in. And now Ironblood, they want to take control once again of this B zone. And it looks like whatever it takes this time, they're going to make an adjustment, just try to completely take control of University.
Oh, Neptune, 10-4. Big win onto Noisy there. Keeps us even inside of this round for lives. Bomb in hand of Too Real right alongside him through University. They have control, but it seems like they want to dip their toes into this A site. And realistically, you look at who's there. It has to be Adam Assault to find a kill to make it happen. But Too Real, he's going on a mission.
Oh my god, the slow crawl over towards A. Assault will throw a nade. Not able to connect with the nade either.
Yeah, it does.
And that's he did connect with the nade. I didn't see the kill come up inside of the feed. That's a perfect nade from Assault. Read like a book. And now it's going to leave Ironblood in a 3v2. Neptune still very much so in control of University, though. But look at this double flank coming in from Welly and Exceed. They could very much so catch Brack off guard.
Yeah, and Assault, he completely realizes his situation, just pivots all the way into the back end. 25 seconds. Somebody has to go on a mission to pick up this bomb. Brack looking to be that player, but this is where that flank is going to tear things up. Welly gets red. Brack now last alive. The cleanup should be there, and it is. Ironblood Gaming, they even us up. 4-4 we go, Jesse. And some big plays coming out of them, as well as a big nade from Adam Assault.
Yeah, and on the other side, Assault is able to clean up the final kill onto Noisy as well at the exact same time that kill goes down. So a very clean round out of Ironblood, like you said. And honestly, if Assault doesn't get that nade, they probably don't win that round out as easily as they do at the very end of that. It basically takes a 3v3 into a 3v2, and you get the 2 numbers on the flank as well. It just works out so well for them inside of that spot. And honestly, if I'm Ironblood, I am not challenging inside of bottom university, because Neptune has absolutely been in control of that throughout this entire game.
See if they can keep it going, Jesse. Quiet inside the start of this round. Noisy's going to take a gander. And Turiel almost finding first blood. It's going to be Neptune to find 2. On who tagged up Noisy. That's bombed down. You just can't let him do that. That's going to allow so much map control for Turiel, but he respects it. He backs up, and you take what you get.
It's a smart play from
Adam. Get out of there.
Just pack all the way up into your spawn. Play your streaks. You're on 5 in a row. Like we said inside of the earlier rounds, if you use your streaks correctly on this map, you can absolutely walk away with round victory. So Assault's really putting a lot of focus into now just trying to make sure they can get that glide bomb onto their favor. Even if they lose this round, you still at least have 1 round in hand. Welly will go down. It's going to leave Assault all by themselves inside of the back of the map, and I'd be very surprised if Adam kind of pushes up and tries to get too aggressive here.
I'd like to see him just play for these streaks. I mean, a 1v3, it's not out of the books, but it's the last page of the book, and it takes a lot to get there. 5 in a row, you want to hold that going into this, because if you find 2 opening kills, Jesse, into that 5th round, that's a glide bomb. You can use that to steamroll, and then that's going to be the round. But
yeah,
realistically, whatever it takes, I mean, that start there, Neptune finding 2 opening kills, you cannot allow that to happen the next round.
And Neptune's made that same push on back-to-back defenses as well, where he plays inside of the bottom of University, and as soon as they get information on a player being inside of that middle cut going down towards the B site, he's bust through the defensive side of the doors of the University, gets a kill, and this time he was actually able to find 2 and just completely took control of the round, even though he ends up falling. Just a massive job by Neptune so far inside of this game. I said it in the last round, I'll say it again here. You cannot challenge him bottom University right now. He's just winning every single gunfight out in that spot. It looks like whatever it takes wants to get aggressive over towards B once again here, but actually just going to choose to play a little bit more passive and just not allow Ironblood to pinch them inside of that zone this time.
Look how aggressive Noisy is inside of University. Whatever it takes, they haven't made a move. They're seeing if they can bait out anything from Ironblood or First Blood, but Exceed at the same time. Can he spot the shadow? He should have. Doesn't take the shots. Do you not see him through that? I definitely thought he would have seen Turiel there, but
he definitely has
missing
now.
the mark. Finally taking the shots, not going to hit. Missing that mark. Neptune looks like he wants to dip on into this University, but Noisy in a good position to shut it down.
And Noisy's just playing a little bit of a corner, but Neptune gets the best of him again. The worst possible time to look away will end up finding them down. And now I believe that Assault's also already... Oh, okay. I was going to say, I thought he already used his grenade because I didn't see it coming in. But unfortunately, doesn't get the right read at the right time like he did in the last round. And now Assault needs to get aggressive here. On 5 in a row.
Good Major Maniac. Holding that outside angle as well. Neptune's going to find Exceed. 2v4. 30 seconds left. Assault's going to make a move. No time to play for these streaks anymore. Welly now last alive. Has to do a 1v4, but he can't get it done. Everybody in front of him, and whatever it takes, they're going to take the search and destroy Jesse 6-4 with some big, big plays out of Neptune.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say it was a really, really close map when you take a look at the whole overall, but it felt like Neptune and whatever it takes just kind of had that upper edge. It was a couple rounds in the middle of it there that you really saw Ironblood start to bring the game back into their favor. They're down 4-1 at one point. They bring it all the way back to 4-4. It was looking really, really close, but they just were not able to get the job done at the very end of that game. And honestly, it's pretty much up to Neptune and finding all of those constant first bloods in through middle of the map, in through that University or flying out of University and finding kills down on the dune side of the map. Just a great job there from Neptune to really kind of take control of the map as a submachine gun player on a very AR heavy map.
You think about like the end of that game, man, that timing that you saw Noisy have against Neptune there. I mean, just a second earlier, you don't look away for that. That's probably a kill, Jesse, for
Probably.
Noisy and a round win for Ironblood, but he just looks away at the worst timing, and Neptune punishes 14-6, 13 non-traded kills, and above all, I mean, 12, almost 13k damage.
I mean, sometimes you're just rolling, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Sometimes you just get that kind of a fever pitch going for yourself where you can just kind of push out anything that you want. You feel like you're going to win every single gunfight. I guarantee you Neptune was feeling like that. And unfortunately for him, he was catching good timings as well through bottom. And you know what? Sometimes it's just rolling, and it's just hard to stop that freight train from going through. And Neptune inside of that map very much so was that freight train. It was hard to shut him down through a lot of that game. You had a very even game coming out from everybody on the side of Ironblood. I mean, kills almost all exactly the same, damage almost all exactly the same. It was a good, well-rounded effort, just was not enough to take down the Neptune show, honestly, on the other side.
Oh, it's just not enough to take him down. You said he had like an okay game over inside that map 1, very influential when it came to the pacing, but map 2, he takes that and he completely blows it open. This is exactly what you need out of a player like Neptune. As he gets hot, as he has that chip on his shoulder to play with, Jesse, he's just going to keep on getting better. But let's hop over to 705 Esports versus Valor Esports as they're starting off their map number 1 on Bokosh and oh, yeez. 6 in a row. Shots like that just making him look so strong right now. Only for 7, Pristini's going to be there, but shuts him down.
I thought we turned in just in the right time there, but unfortunately we don't see the streaks end up coming through. But look at his stat line through that first set of rotations, 23 and 13. Absolutely tearing it up here so far. Nobody on the side of 705 Esports is positive, though, outside of Pristini, and they are still within this game. So clearly doing something right on the map right now is 705 and able to keep themselves just barely inside of this map number 1.
Pristini on 3 in a row. Now his turn, but Yeez puts a stop to it just like before. Second set of rotations into the P2. It should be Valor Esports were the first ones there, but 705 can open some big kills, flips this map out. And you look at Classic's positioning right on the front lines, hoping to pick off these rotations and these respawns as they do come into fruition. And so far, so good. I mean, 705, they are sitting pretty inside of this hill, too. As you can see, Valor Esports looking for the full wraparounds here is Exotic, but another 3 go down in a row. Yeez is going to drop as well, and this is perfect for the rotation.
It's been a crazy hold here so far from 705. They're not even allowing anybody on Valor to really get anywhere close to this hill. Luckily for Valor, Phantoms will kind of pick up a little bit of fire here. Pop 2 in a row now, can start to make their way forward a little bit, get a little bit of map control, and just not allow 705 to continue just to shut them down the way that they are. 3 go down inside of their favor, and this works out so well for them because they can just attack and try to hit from the front. Now they got to be focused on this rotation, though, over towards P3.
Valor Esports good enough to hold this disadvantage to about 18 seconds going into this third hill, but now 705 looking for the long haul. Pressuring out this P3. Yeez, with the help of Exotic, it's 2 down, and then Rex is going to ping off one of his own and completely shut out 705 for this rotation, Jesse.
And that's exactly what you need for Valor, right? You just answer back with a good hold of your own here on side of the Grandma's Hill. And it's really, really tough to break when teams are able to zone you out and push you out like this, along with holding on to those back spawns, because even if you get that first wipe, now everybody's just going to come off spawn. They can all fly forward, and they can start to pin you in the back themselves. So 705, they have a really important job here. They need to find 2 wipes, and they find the first with ease. So now you just need to fly forward. And actually, they flipped the spawns out for themselves as well, so don't even need to find that second wipe yet.
Well, it's hard to break, but the veterans of 705 looking so simple inside the hill for the cleanup from Yeez. Oh, he almost gave it up for time to kind of stay alive a little bit longer. Pristini on 5 in a row, as we saw him just streaky inside of this Bokosh, 26 and 18. If you find this glide bomb, I mean, it would be huge for 705. But again, they're going to be late to this rotation over to P4, and it looks like Pristini wants to take the long way around.
Exotic's going to be in a spot to try to shut this down as well. We'll see if Pristini challenges it out. And unfortunately, Exotic just gets the best timing in the world there to be able to push that out. But even though they find that kill inside of the back, everybody else on 705 pushes forward. They get inside the new hill, and now you've actually got DiamondCon in a perfect spot to be able to shut things down on as Valor tries to push back inside of the hill.
Heads up play from Yeez, but traded out from Royalty. Royalty's going to find 2. Classic inside the hill, 3rd, and another 4 down for Valor Esports. Still spotting up on that left side of the minimap, Jesse. They're going to have to take a lot of gunfights in, rotating around. You can see Exotic. He wants to make that full wraparound. He doesn't want to be late to the next rotation, as Valor Esports, they've actually been the first to all 3 of the last hills. They just haven't been able to lock down the time, so you're going to need something big out of Valor Esports for the 5th hill.
You do, but look at the map. I mean, they're still spawning up inside of stables right now. So 705 will be in a perfect spot to get this rotation over towards New. They will be the first team to spawn up there as well. I'm sure of it. As soon as they all end up falling, it's exactly what happens. Royalty spawns up on Pristini, and I mean, even though they fall there, they just get so much information. They get a ton of tags in on a lot of these players, and now they're in a great spot to even hold on to P5 as well.
We need something big here. He's on the flank. It's red, and look at that kill feed. All red for 705 Esports is a flawless 4 down. As Pristini now flying on forward with utter confidence as he wants to pick a little bit more out of the barrel of these respawns of Valor Esports. You do have Exotic able to find the player inside the hill and has been able to wrap around this whole map. So Valor Esports not out of it just yet, Jesse, but they are just down by a lot.
I mean, you're not only down by a lot, but also 14 seconds away from 705 for being able to close this game out. All they really need is one big break. I say that, but it's Bakaj, right? So even if they do get that break, always an opportunity for Valor to be able to get back in and at least contest. But these back 10 seconds of scrap time, they should go the way of Valor here. I say that until Royalty, drops a nade inside the hill and completely shuts down that thought process there. So 705 will pick up a few seconds of scrap time. Now 12 seconds away from being able to close this game out, and all eyes are focused on P1.
All eyes are focused on P1, Jesse. Not a lot of time usually gets picked up here, but your Valor Esports, you want as much as you can muster up. You look at 705 off the respawn, and spawning up back Grandma's gonna have to rotate through this whole house just to get to this hill, but they're winning out in their gunfights. They're making sure it's scrappy, so Valor Esports haven't really been able to pick up a lot of time into this hill. As 705, they touch down into it for a second, get out of it right away, through 239, now 240. To close this out, it's only 10 seconds left, and look at Pristini cutting down players inside of the barn, allowing 705 Esports so much time into this hill. You need something big out of Valor, and finally they fire up, and they clear out the hill again, but it's 3 seconds needed for 705 to put away the map.
Oh, and they can do it here. They can absolutely put this one away here. Rex goes massive, though. Finds one. Needs to stay alive. All Valor need to do is stop 705 from hopping on the hill, but so much easier said than done. 705, they jump on. They get the little bit of scrap that they need, and they close out that map number 1, 250 to 175. And Colin, I mean, I know we didn't get to see the whole first part of that game. I know we only came in for the second set of rotations. But when we came in, correct me if I'm wrong, but Valor had a massive slaying lead coming into that. And when I look at that massive slaying lead and the fact that it was a tie game, all that tells me is that Valor did not do a good enough job early on in that game to take away an advantage that you saw on the side of 705. Because 705, as soon as they got rolling, they just completely ran away with that game.
I don't know what else to tell you, Jesse, other than 3 players on Valor Esports were plus 30 kills in that Bocage, and they still could have come away with that win. So some big plays out of the veterans over on 705 Esports just to get the job done where they needed to. But we're going to pan over back to our main matchup, whatever it takes versus Iron Blood Gaming. Whatever it takes, up 2-0 now going into this control. They lose out onto the first round, but now on their own defense, trying to answer back with one of their own.
Unfortunately, I didn't get to see a chance for how many ticks Iron Blood was able to get, or sorry, that whatever it takes was able to get on that first offense for themselves. But speaking of offense, Iron Blood Gaming off to a very good start here on for their offense of their own. They will completely secure the A zone. And I mean, we've only seen 3 lives come off the board. That is ridiculous.
3 lives down from both teams. Not just one of them. 29 v 28. Look at this now. Iron Blood Gaming, lots of time to siege out this B zone. You see Brack, big kill into Exceed is going to flood on forward, force this attention from Assault all the way back, allows for the respawns of whatever it takes to get into a very strong position. However, the kill's still ringing out for Iron Blood Gaming. 2 real finds, 2 big kills that he probably shouldn't have got. Looking for number 3. It's going to be Assault around the corner, although loses out on that battle. It's still really scrappy here over at the B zone, something that you expect with B, but if you're Iron Blood Gaming, you don't want.
You absolutely don't want it, because now whatever it takes, it really gives them a good opportunity to just kind of fly forward, pin Iron Blood in the back, and just not allow them to get any momentum going over towards this hill. This is when things get really, really scary for offenses on Tuscan. I feel like this is honestly why we're starting to see so many less Tuscans, because as hard as Gavutu was originally, I feel like Tuscan has very much so become the hardest map to be able to break in and get offensive wins on. No matter how good you might be at the map, it's just so tough. And we see it again here. Another 4-man wipe comes in for whatever it takes, and it now allows them to fly forward. And if you're Iron Blood, you need to find a lot of kills middle map and get some map control back right now.
It seems so tough that they've also allowed Berlin into the veto system, so hard that they added a new map. Now, Too Real looking to fly forward for these respawners. Gonna drop his life, but a lot of damage has been done to Iron Blood Gaming on this offense. Down 5 lives. Major Manic still alive on the rooftop, cut down by Assault, but every single opportunity Iron Blood Gaming has to break out of the spawn, it's met by at least one player of whatever it takes, and it's cutting down this clock so much. Now only 30 seconds left.
13, or sorry, only a 3-life lead as well, or whatever it takes. So you definitely still have an opportunity here if you're Iron Blood, but you need to find kills. You need to find your chance. And yeah, this is your chance now. You need to hold on to this zone. 3 players will hop on in. You've only got Assault and Exceed, though, inside the hill, trying to go massive together.
Brack stays alive. He finds Assault. Top patio now. A chance to fly on forward. Too Real Neptune clean up house. 18 seconds left. 9 lives left for Iron Blood Gaming. It's going to be a tough one, but still manageable if you can hit this site. 11 seconds left. It has to be flawless. Too Real's going to jump down from up top. Looking to hunt down these players to the middle of the map. Finds Assault from behind. Now looking for the escape to keep his life up. 3 seconds left to Seed. Has to make a desperation play, and he will. Gets on with 1.1 seconds. But what do you expect when there's 1.1 seconds left? Whatever it takes, they're going to clean up the hill, and they're going to go back to a 1-1 even game.
Yeah, just never really kind of fell out of it there, and it just felt like whatever takes plan inside of that round, Colin, was just to allow them to pretty much get the A zone. Didn't really contest too many lives over there. As I said, the only 3 lives in total out of both sides given up inside of that early portion of the round. And whatever it takes, they just decided, hey, you know what? Let's just take a full set here, and we'll just go into it from that point on. It's a great job done. You absolutely love to see it, and now whatever it takes, we'll go back on their offense. I did just get no word as well from our observers that it is actually a 3-3 tie as well, so we're completely tied up here inside of this game in terms of ticks.
We got Too Real here. Lots of work to be done, and Exceed just flies on forward to him. Major Maniac's gonna die. I don't know what to, but luckily he had Brack and Neptune there to clean up the rest of it. The second tick is gonna be locked down, and yeah, off the map he goes, and A-tick should be solidified here. And yeah, you can see they're going to leave Neptune back there to clean up house. Well, the rest of whatever it takes puts pressure on B and forces the attention of Iron Blood Gaming away.
We'll see what whatever Takes can do here. They're going to try to make a push through the top side of the map, and actually it's a 2-prong attack. They also try to hit in through the command center side. Too Real will be in a great spot to fly forward. But this is the issue with this map, right? As soon as you find a couple of those kills, all of Iron Blood will still be spawning up as close as they need to be able to reinforce this hill. So whatever it takes, they kind of need to slow the pace down here. Wait for some teammates to show up, because really this has just been 3 individual pushes at a time. Major Maniac will also fly forward, and it completely evens up our life count. We're at 2 minutes left. And if you're whatever it takes, you need to just stop trying to make these individual plays and just play as a complete full unit here to try to break into this B zone.
All leaves out the window. Noisy here. 3 players on the opposite side of the wall. Finds one. Brack next up to the chopping block. Playing his life here. Noisy, but he can't come away with another one. Too Real's going to let him 2 Real. Lines up 3. Well, he finally shuts him down, but you look in the back line, it's Major Maniac picking up where Too Real left off. Now a chance for whatever it takes to break on in. You can see the gunfight's going their way. Another 3 down. And now they need to hop into the zone. Minute 21. They hop on in, and look at Iron Blood Gaming spawning up back church.
Yeah, and look at this overextension. This is a great play from Assault to just overextend all the way in through the middle of the map, try to break their way through. And if all those players ended up falling in the front, Assault would have been in a great spot to even clean that up, but he doesn't even need to. So what he does, he says, hey, you know what, screw it, let's just fly forward then. No way Major Maniac was expecting Assault to be there, but unfortunately for Assault, he will have the better of him in that situation. And they don't even walk away with a tick of progress inside of that. That's actually insane.
Iron Blood Gaming looking to catch their breath right now as they're still losing gunfights around the map, but 9 lives to 11. This is still doable for Iron Blood Gaming. You talk about how hard this B zone is to break, and now Iron Blood, they have completely slowed things down, hit the brakes, but they don't want to get aggressive too much. Brack almost lined up 2, will be traded out with Welly. 3-on-3 there. Welly go big right now. You allow Noisy into the mix. He's looking to fly forward, clean up Major Maniac, but how much can you do when you got 2 Real in your backline?
I mean, it just looks like the call is just to fly forward. Everybody tries to fly and push their way now into the command center, and it's worked out really well because it's just staggered the numbers again here. Yeah. Assault will finally end up going down, but that's after he picks up a 2-piece. Speaking of 2 pieces, Neptune will find 2 of his own as he tries to fly forward, but the problem now is that everybody's coming off spawn. if you're whatever it takes, you've got 10 seconds to wait for everybody to get close. You need to hop on, stop the clock, and try to win this one out on kills.
What's going to be Neptune, 35 HP, slides around Noisy, cleans him up into the hill. They go. 2 real. Last chance. Assault's going to catch his number. Major Maniac drops as well, and that's going to be the round. Iron Blood Gaming, they hold on tight, Jesse, and they go back into a lead. They didn't even give up a tick towards B, so that's something that you can look at as a positive from that round.
It was a good attempt there out of Iron Blood. And honestly, if I'm Iron Blood coming into this next offense, I think the play here, Colin, is to just send all 4 players over towards B. Everybody needs to fly forward, try to get inside of that B zone, and just at least get 1 tick of progress inside of B, and get your guaranteed 4 ticks inside of the map, because you can just go over to A after. And if you do so successfully, you'll guarantee yourself that final defense.
Big win from Exceed now, looking to draw the attention from whatever it takes away from the A zone. Noisy next up, lines up 2. That allows his teammate to hop onto this A zone, stops the clock, starting to gain progression into this zone as well. As you can see, 2 players going to be here, but they're not going to stick it, Jesse. You can see Assault wants to get aggressive. Take a look at the minimap and look at whatever it takes they're doing. They know this zone's going slow, so they're going to hit this flank. Noisy has to play his life in the back, stays alive. Welly is going to catch Turiel looking the wrong way, and now a whiffy or whatever it takes, this whole flank, it's just blown up in your face.
Yeah, and it just feels like Iron Blood Gaming is trying to do this one the hard way right now. They decide to go for A right off the bat here. And like we said, they don't even really necessarily need to win this one out on offense alone here. They can just force it into a final defense if they got all of the B zone. But now, tied up at 3. If they don't get any more ticks of progression, it will end up going down 2 kills here as everybody's tied up at 6-6 in terms of total ticks. But if you have Iron Blood Gaming on offense, if they're able to get 1 more tick of progression inside of that B zone, they will guarantee themselves that final defense where they've looked so solid against whatever it takes so far inside of this map.
Another chance to steamroll. Eyes about even. Brack's going to disengage from this position, looking to absolutely trap them with Major Maniac on the pinch. Finds the beatdown onto 1. The trade from Welly, keeping these players still alive in the backside. He's going to get spotted out too, and Brack really just giving everything up in the backline for Iron Blood Gaming to reside inside their spawn. And I like this from whatever it takes. They give it up. They're trapping them back here. They flip this map out, Jesse.
And, I mean, it's just really tough, right? Because whatever it takes is just set up in a perfect spot right now. Even if Welly finds a few kills in the back, it's going to make life that much harder for them to be able to break in, because everybody else on whatever it takes can just fly forward. And actually, it looks like the call is just to leave Welly in the back.
Do something.
They don't even care. They're like, hey, you want to chill in the back of our spawn for absolutely no reason? You go right ahead. We'll just fly forward, pick your teammates off spawn 1 by 1, because we've got the numbers. And yeah, look, this makes Welly have to now push forward and start to try to help his teammates out.
Big cleanup from Noisy there. Welly leaves his position. Brack, can he punish? He's going to get cleaned up by Neptune. Now Brack pivots around, spots out Noisy in P5, disengages from that gunfight, allows him to push on in, and Noisy just walks right into the gunfire of Brack's Automaton. 18 lives to 12. Whatever it takes, in full control of this defensive round after giving up that A zone. And Iron Blood Gaming, they haven't got a lick of B whatsoever. 27 seconds.
Feels like lives are practically even right now, but I do believe that whatever it takes has the advantage in terms of lives right now. And 2Real's going to play in an extremely sneaky corner here. We'll find 1 in the back, but it just feels like Iron Blood Gaming, if they want this final defense with the way the life lead is now, they need to guarantee 1 final tick of progression here. But whatever it takes is not giving these guys an inch right now.
No, not at all. Neptune finds a big win into Noisy in the back with the help of Brack. Now finessing his life around that big win from Exceed. Hops into the zone, but a lot of damage, 4 HP, and a dream to stay alive. Major Maniac with the help of Brack's going to clean it up once more, and whatever it takes, they send us the distance inside of Tuscan. 2-2 we go. And Jesse, I'm going to go to you for this one. Do we know who's got the tick advantage?
I'm pretty sure. Well, there is no tick advantage, but I'm pretty sure whatever it takes has it in terms of kills. It was tied to 6-6 in terms of tick progression inside of that round. And yeah, it will be whatever it takes with that final defense. And Colin, that brings me back to my other point. I mean, I feel like Iron Blood Gaming, if they wanted to take that, they should have made their lives easier on themselves and just taken a chance at sending all 4 players over towards B and trying to get just a tick of progression over there, because A has been fairly automatic for either of these 2 teams through a lot of this game so far.
I know sometimes it seems like Noisy's 2 people in 1, but 24 and 26, he's going to look to pick things up for that overextension play from the SMG. Noisy Assault, they find 3 in a row. Hop into this A zone, working on that second tick of progression right away. And look at that right away. Noisy getting right into his position of church, looking to cut off any rotations that decide to flood through the middle of the map. But after this, I mean, look at whatever it takes. They're happy to give this up. They know that the B zone, it's been theirs every single defense.
It really has, and they have full confidence in being able to hold on to it here. Brack will be the player sitting up inside a top flat, just trying to shut things down as the players all fly forward here for Iron Blood Gaming. They do have a 2-life lead at the moment, but I would expect that that lead gets dwindled down quite quickly. Welly will find one in the back, quickly trade it out as well. And yeah, look at this life lead. I mean, it will grow to 3, but you just have no map control right now if you're Iron Blood Gaming, and this is exactly the same thing Whatever It Takes has done to you every single defense here so far inside of this game.
Yeah, Whatever It Takes cleanup crew on the hunt throughout Tuscan. And look at that help from Two Real,
Okay,
keeping Neptune alive. Oh, the movement as well. And Two Real's just going to punish as Neptune's doing whatever he can to finesse throughout this. And now
doing whatever
Neptune,
it
2 Real
takes.
on 3 in a row. You're right. Whatever it takes. I see what you did there. 4 in a row for 2 Real. Slowing things down here is Iron Blood Gaming, but how much can you slow things down when you have to get to this B zone? You have a minute 31, and realistically, you got to clean up your zone. I mean, there's plenty of time to work with if you're Iron Blood Gaming. They're just throwing away lives.
Remember when they had a 3-life lead? Now down 6. Here for Iron Blood Gaming, Major Maniac will find the player first pushed furthest forward, and Brack will now find 4 in a row through middle of the map. They have no map control at all right now. This is surely feeling like it should be a Whatever It Takes 3-0 at the moment, unless something massive happens here for Whatever It Takes to shut them down. But it just doesn't feel like Iron Blood Gaming has what it takes to really get inside any of these zones at the moment. Whatever it takes to lose their frontline player out. But a team kill comes through, you're absolutely right, and it's just making this push that much harder. 17-9 now in lives, and if they want to get this done, it's going to have to be in tick progression.
This map slipping through the fingers of Iron Blood Gaming piece by piece. And you're looking at the player making it all happen. 2 Real, 32 and 29, tearing things up again and again inside the lives of Iron Blood Gaming. 6 lives remaining. Exceed inside the backline of Whatever It Takes. Neptune, what a shot with the MP40. Now it's going to be Welly's turn to make a play through this backside. 5 lives, though, for Iron Blood Gaming, Jesse. I mean, this would be something else if you gave it up. You really need everything from the books if you're Iron Blood Gaming, because you have no more respawn. 16 seconds left. Welly looking to make this play. They know he's back here as well. As you can see, Whatever It Takes, not giving him anything at all. Brack's going to take him down to 8. Neptune looking for the cleanup, not finding him at all. Exceed, another one's going to go down. Now time to collapse if you're Whatever It Takes. It's still alive, Exceed, but Neptune finally cleaning him up, Jesse. It's noisy, last alive. There's just no time to make it happen. And he's going to get picked up. It's Whatever It Takes 3-0 sweeping.
Yeah, and I honestly think this goes back to the last offense for Iron Blood Gaming. I think that if they were in that spot where you just need one extra ticket progression over Whatever It Takes, I think you just take a shot at going towards B off the rip. I know that it's kind of hindsight to say so, but I just think that if you're in that spot, you just need to take a risk. Nobody was able to get anything but any progress over towards A, and it felt like the progress at A was fairly automatic for both these teams through every single offense that we've seen inside of this map. So if you're Iron Blood, I don't think there's a hurt to taking a shot at going towards B. Even if you lose the round out, you still end up being in the exact same situation you were just in inside of that last round. And Whatever It Takes, as soon as they get put into that situation where they're in the driver's seat, they're going to close it out 95% of the time. And Neptune, oh my God, what a series out of the kid.
For real. I mean, I was saying that 2 Real really tearing things up, but it's just because he's allowed to do that when you have Neptune and Major Maniac just running the map like they were. And we're going to take a look at the stats just to make sure. I mean, you just look at the SMGs of Whatever It Takes. You just look at the team of Whatever It Takes. They had a stellar game against Iron Blood Gaming, really turning things up in the Elite Season 3.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we talked about Neptune early on inside of game number 1. It wasn't the hottest, flashiest game for himself, but he was, what, +4 with 2.5 minutes inside of the hill? Fantastic game. Going to game 2, it was like 13-5, something ridiculous like that inside of game 2. And then you look at this game number 3, 35-25, top fragger inside of the lobby. May not have had the most damage on his team. Walks over his second most damage. 30 out of 35 non-traded kills, by the way, Colin. 30 out of 35. That is ridiculous.
And look at Major Maniac, too. He's negative, but he's got 4,200 damage.
Yeah.
What are those numbers coming out from the main AR of your team? Just always making sure that you always have a fallback plan if you're Whatever It Takes. And you can put a lot of trust into a guy like Major Maniac. Just the things that he brings to a team, you can't teach it.
You absolutely can't. I mean, this team, I think, could be really, really scary inside of this elite stage. Honestly, I think that you've got two former pros, Major Maniac, who has proven multiple times that he can take a team and kind of run away with things for that team. Now joining Brack and Turio, who have been two fantastic challenger players through a lot of this season. You add Neptune to the mix as well. An absolutely cracked out sub. You saw it inside of that last map. He was just doing unbelievable things running around with the submachine gun. I mean, I feel like this team has all the recipe to success that they could need to be able to go on a big run. And honestly, I could see a lot of these players finding their way back into the league or into the league for the first time in a lot of situations. We'll just have to see. But I honestly don't think that Neptune, with the talent that kid has, that will be the last time we see him inside of the league.
No, I agree with you right there. You can see that he's just the guy to make it happen again and again. And yeah, you didn't get things going in NYSL, but sometimes that happens with rosters. Rosters don't always end up the way that you want. That's why we see so many roster changes inside of Challengers, Jesse, again and again. So right now, whatever it takes, they're looking fantastic. They've put together quite the squad over there, and a 3-0 over Ironblood Gaming is going to put them even farther up into that standings. Let's talk a little bit about the rest of it, because we got Red Wolves and Trash Bros. Trash Bros, after losing map 1, they answer back a little bit angrily. They win the Search and Destroy 6-1, and they win the Control 3-1, Jesse. So heading into this hard point, if you're the Red Wolves, you need to find some footing.
Yeah, you absolutely do, to try to get back into this one. But Trash Bros, like you called out, looking to close things out here inside of this game. Red Wolves will be in control of the back spawns at the moment. Nick Haight does some big things inside of the map as well, just to be able to lock down some more time here for Louisville. But I mean, if you're Trash Bros, you're not giving up any of this time, and it looks like they want to make a very aggressive hit through the top side of the map.
Look at the break here. Venom into the hill for the contention. Can't find anybody around the back of Church, but in the inside, wins the fight up top, breaks over into Hate, and Jintroid cleans up Juju. So it's a full break there for Trash Bros to look to flip this lead once more. If you're the Red Wolves, I mean, 15 seconds left, you look to chalk this, and on the rotation, you can already see Jintroid looking to put some damage down over towards P5. Although Darkseid, big win there, second out of Juju. You could win this rotation. You just need Hate to win this gunfight, but Venom staying alive on a 4 killing spree.
And now Trash Bros, they should be in control of this hill. Maybe outside of Juju might be able to make a big play here on this massive flank. Will find one, and this should actually open up a good pinch potential. But oh my god, Hollow goes massive and finds one at the very least to slow things down. But you will have the Red Wolves now. First team inside of the hill with a significant setup.
Red Wolves team, I mean, nothing to scoff at. They did 3-0, Toronto Ultra NA back on day 1. You're looking at that team to win this hard point right now. Hollow, last-ditch effort over towards this P5. He's going to hop in for the contention. 24 seconds to play for. Double team right there from Darkseid and Hate. Will be able to keep that player to the hill, but what a nade there. Jintroid and Venom, they light up the feed with 3 in a row, and Mock closes the door with a kill and a Geo.
And now it looks like Trash Bros want to try to make this push all the way across the map. This works out so well for them, because not only are they grabbing the scrap time here, or the majority of the scrap time, I should say, they've also got a pretty good looking setup over towards New. Hollow falls off the map, though. Hopefully that's not the nail in the coffin for this Trash Bros roster in this map.
Hopefully not. Juju, second one is the hill. Darkseid looking for the win onto Jintroid, although Pinch will be alive here for Trash Bros. Jintroid now, desperation is going to be in hopes for Trash Bros to win these fights. Although 3 seconds left for Red Wolves to send us to a map number 5. You look at the break from Trash Bros. They keep it alive. They're not giving up just yet.
And this is going to be really hard now for the Red Wolves, because they're going to come off spawn and they have to deal with so many stuns and nades coming from Trash Bros. They have to hit this one more time to stop the win.
One break's all you need from both teams right now, but nobody's going to touch you from the Red Wolves and the Trash Wolves. The Trash Bros. They sit up and they clutch up at the end, 250 to 247. I mean, these games, they just cannot be any closer.
I really thought that Trash Bros kind of screwed themselves in the end of that game there. It felt like Red Wolves were in a perfect spot to shut things down, to be able to get inside. And it was really, with Hollow falling off the map, it was on the outside of the monument. We've even seen Major Maniac do that inside of the control. It's like you take one wrong step on the outside of that monument and you just fall straight to your death. It is a very deadly drop from that 3-foot little pedestal to the outside of the map. But if you do it, you will absolutely fall and take blame. And you know what? I thought that was going to be the disaster for Trash Bros there. It looked like they had the setup that they needed. But you know what? They get the job done. They knew they had enough time to make one more solid hit. They make that hit. They break in. And then at that point, Red Wolves just could not get their footing. back in to make that final break back to P1.
Well, they slip, they fall, Jesse, and they drop even farther into the standings for Elite Season 3. They had such a strong start with a 3-0 sweep over Toronto Ultra NA, but since then, I mean, they just haven't been able to replicate that matchup against other teams. And I'm sure if they go toe-to-toe with Toronto Ultra NA, it wouldn't be the same exact game as we saw, because Toronto have been turning up in their own rights, as we haven't really been seeing them. They've on the mainstream against Electrify Steel, but 250 to 175 for them in their own map number 1. So everybody has been turning up towards the end here, Jesse. And, you know, teams like Red Wolves in these situations, you just cannot afford to fall any deeper, because as they drop even farther into the standings, as we're seeing, I mean, it's kind of putting a dagger through the heart of your hopes of making it to the playoff bracket.
And it sucks too, because you know that they would love to finish inside of that top 4 and be guaranteed that second opportunity inside of Elite, because, you know, it's one thing to get to the Elites, but then it's another thing to play well in the Elites, right? But it's hard to play well in the Elites if you don't have the practice playing up against all of these top teams, right? So this is fantastic practice for this Red Wolves team. But the thing is if they don't make it through here, and I don't think that they're in a situation now where they can make it through in towards the second stage or in towards the next stage of the Elite, because only the top 4 are guaranteed to qualify. The bottom 4, obviously, they kind of get dropped down. You have to requalify your way back through the relegation process. Maybe they can make another shot at it, but I mean, it wasn't a team that we were all fully expecting to be here in the first place.
I mean, this is their first time in the Elite stage for all 4 of those players. So, I mean, you just look at them to kind of keep their heads high. You know, you got here, you could do it again. I hope to see this team, you know, pick things up into the future, Jesse. But you can see another team that's having a pretty weak stage or Season 3. Valor Esports above us, down 2-0 to 705 Esports, folks. We're going to get set up with this map number 3. Throw it to a quick break, and when we come back, it's going to be possibly our last map of the day, unless Valor Esports wants to clutch up and reverse sweep. We'll see you there. series as they are facing 2-0 against 705 Esports. And we're looking at 705 starting off this offense already a tick into the A zone, Jesse. But Valor Esports, they have quite the life lead.
Well, Colin, we just watched the control on this map, and what did we see? We didn't see a single team get a single tick of progression over towards B. So we'll see if we can break that trend here inside of this map. But so far, not looking too hot because you do have Yeez all the way inside of your spawn if you are 705 Esports, and definitely not the spot where you want Yeez ever. Is just kind of coming behind you and hunting you down.
He is just running rampant so far inside the spawn of 705 Esports. Pristini and Classic will find a break finally, but he's still alive. Still tearing things up. He's going to hop up in through the broken window. Now looking to catch Royalty in through the sidelines, and he will. So it's another 3 down for 705 Esports as the B zone gets cleaned up. 6 life lead for Valor Esports. Jesse, he's is still going.
Oh
5 in a row for him. This is a perfect start.
It up. Yeah. A perfect start indeed, except for the fact that 705 have been able to get at least one tick of progression over towards B. And oh no, he's just continues to hold W, or I guess hold forward on the controller here, and will unfortunately end up falling there on 6 in a row, not able to find full streaks out of it. But you do have 4 ticks of progression. You can start to make your way now over towards that B zone, but with a 6 life lead because of the damage he's did early on in this game, it's going to be very hard to be able to get inside of this B zone now.
It's tough indeed. We've seen teams in the last series lose with a lot more leeway. So looking at 705 Esports to get something going and make it look clean so far. But Valor Esports, they're not throwing him a shoulder whatsoever. You can see all 4 players tucked away in a corner. Cruddy corners right now, waiting for 705 to push on forward into this situation. As player number 6, Rex, has completely given us up. Here comes Exotic around Church. She is going to find one into Pristini. It's a trades back and forth. 2v2 inside the hill, but Phantoms, big 2-piece there. Cleaning up Diamond Con should clean up the round.
And with only 5 lives left, you would really, really hope so that you're able to close this round out here if you're Valor. If not, that would be a really, really bad spot and a really, really bad situation. It would have to take a complete collapse, honestly, at this point to lose that one out. We'll see what they can do. Looks like 705 wants to set up and try to break this one more time from the front, but you just have such a solid setup here if you're Valor that this is just so hard to be able to break through.
Well, Royalty making some noise here, finds 2 in a row. 2v10, Jesse. How much fun can we have with it? None at all. Valor Esports, they're going to clean it up. And a strong start from Yeez and a stronger end from the rest of the roster as Valor Esports taking this one down 1-0. And you get to see Yeez at the end here as well. 9-5 inside that first round.
I mean, Yeez was definitely the reason why they were able to walk away with that round victory inside of that map number, or inside of that round number 1. It was a little bit tough. But, I mean, the way that he was just running rampant through a lot of that. I mean, I say that, but I didn't even notice Phantoms going 10-3 in that round. So absolutely holding his own for themselves as well for Valor Esports inside of that round number 1. We'll just have to see what they can keep it going here. Because now on their own offense, see if they can finally pick up the first offense of the day that we've seen here on Tuscan.
Still a strong start out of Yeez and Phantoms. They're going to find the opening 2 kills, Jesse. 3 down from 705 early. It's going to allow Valor Esports to tick into this A zone as they're going to bundle on up towards the outer church. Kill from Phantoms and Exotic should slow this one down. 3rd tick being worked on. Rex trying to finesse his life, but as he gets dropped, it's going to be Royalty into the zone to clean up the rest. As the 3rd tick will not be cemented. And 705, they hold on for a little bit longer.
It's a good start here for 705. I mean, yeah, you give up 2 ticks of progression, but you don't give up anything over at B yet. And you've absolutely staggered the push once again coming out of Valor. Now Valor will be able to get in towards A once again here. And now it's trying to kind of continue their way up. And Dylan Rex is in a great spot to just shut these players down. This surely should be the A zone now finished off. I say that, okay, yeah, they do finally clean up Diamond Con through the middle of the map. I just saw everybody run off of it. I was getting a little worried there. I was like, oh no, let's just finish this off, then worry about flying forward. But now the main focus is going to be on trying to break into B, which we've seen no team be able to do so successfully here so far today.
You sit there, just wait a second, okay. Okay, we got it. Over to the B zone we go. Royalty first kill into Phantoms. Slowing down Valor Esports, but still in the backline as they reside. Yeez gets traded out. Rex now last alive for the team. A beatdown for Pristini. He's got the hands. He's looking to play his life. Gets out with 9 HP as well. And covers his tracks with a nade. So far, so good for 705 over towards the B zone. You still have Rex in the backline. But this is like what we saw from Welly in our last game, Jesse. Is he's not really doing a whole lot. Just waiting for his teammates to peek on forward.
It's honestly doing you more damage than good. At least taking some shots, though. at the rest of the players on 705, making them have to duck in behind some cover, maybe opening up a few avenues here for the Valor players to be able to fly forward. But the big difference right now inside of this offense from what we've seen from any other offense here so far is the fact that Valor have double the lives right now of the 705 players. They can win this one off lives just alone.
We're going to go a little bit of TDM. So here we go, another push. Phantoms finds Royalty. Yeez doubles down. Into the B zone we should go. Stops the clock, and Yeez the second one as well. 3 down to the hands of 705 Esports. You can need big things out of Diamondcon right now. Is able to find Yeez at least. First tick should be cemented, and it will be. No more respawns. 3 lives left. In the back line is going to be Rex on 6 in a row. Can't find the streak. That's a huge kill on a Royalty, even if you lose this round. And he's going to push on forward now and just hide in the corner, see if he can take down some more lives.
A little 3v13 action. We'll get stunned up as well. Look at all these stuns and nades coming through. They shoot them through the door as well. It's just not a fun spot to be in at any point in time. They will double up on the Diamondcon, and only 1 player left. I mean, it was a 3v13. Let's be honest. We did not expect for the side of 705 to be able to close on and hold off that push there. And that's Valor Esports able to fly in and close things off for themselves, putting themselves in a great spot now, up 2-0, to be able to close that out. And Colin, we finally got an offensive win.
Yeah, finally got an offensive round. I mean, the B zone finally gets controlled, and I think it's because
I actually don't think they got any ticks of progression over at B still, though. I just
even still, I think it's because Phantom's 20-8. I mean, you cannot overlook that. He's having quite the game right now, and that's exactly what you need when you're down 2-0. You need a big player like Phantoms to step up to the plate. He's going to open up with a kill into Royalty, although answered back doubled from 705 Esports. And Rex, nice shots over towards the A zone. Exotic, all 3 down. And that should be 705's offense halted a little bit. And the time clock burned even more.
Here comes the hard part for 705. Now you need to find a way to not only break into A, but you need an offensive win here. You literally cannot go any further inside of this game if you do not get an offensive win inside of this round here. Valor will pick you up and spit you out and be able to close this game out. But here we go. They do finish off A. It should be done at the very least. Rex, no, not going to contest from the middle of the map. And they will find 2 kills as well. So this is their avenue now opened up. Need to try to find a way to get inside of B and break their way in, because it's going to be very hard to win this one simply just off kills like we just saw Valor do with how even the life count is right now.
Especially when Phantoms is shooting like that. Caught with an 8 in the hand. Pristine finds the trade. 3-on-3 for a moment, but the respawn for Phantoms should be up in a matter of no time, although a lot of red in this kill feed. A lot of kills coming up for 705 Esports. Pristine, another kill onto Phantoms. He's found 3 in a row. Now you look 17 lives, a minute 34. Valor Esports, lots of time to burn off this clock. They're going to look to clear their spawn first. Exotic leading the way. Traded out is going to be Royalty, keeping things alive for the 705 team. Yeez comes around to play. Takes down Diamondcon from inside that zone. And it's going to be still back and forth trades. And 705 Esports have not been able to cement a tick, Jesse. Valor Esports, they get rid of all that pressure.
And it was looking so good, too. There was such a good opportunity there for 705 to be able to get in and even just bring the life count bigger and bigger into their favor, but just not able to completely walk away with that one there. And you've got Yeez doing some work over towards this command center side of the map, just making it that much harder for 705 to be able to get that break in. And now the life lead that was once 4 just down to 2, and Valor has completely stabilized in their spawn as well.
Looking to 3-0 this control here and now. 705 Esports still a little bit of an advantage with those 2 lives, but has to be clean. Rex already disintegrates classic from this offense. 2 go down. Rex looking to back up from afar, but you can see all the kills going. Valor Esports, another 4 down, Jesse. 10 lives left. All of a sudden, that life lead gone from 705 Esports' favor. And now 26 seconds left. And look at Rex. He's just running it right down. He wants to take the gunfights to them.
Yeah, only 20 seconds left. It's going to be really, really tough for 705 to be able to hop onto the hill and even just stop this clock here. 8 to 10 now in life, so they're going to try to make this push in through the top side of the map, or sorry, through the bottom side of the map, I should say. And yeah, it's just not enough. Only 1 player left now that can touch. It's Diamondcon. He'll end up falling, and that is it. 705 will get stomped out here from Valor Esports inside of the control. A nice little 3-0 victory for Valor, and finally getting a little bit of kind of momentum going back into their favor after getting beaten map 1 after badly outslaying 705. And then that second map, obviously, we didn't get a chance to watch it, but they did end up taking the L there as well. So it's good just to get a dub on the board here inside of the control.
I mean, Jesse, after getting beaten and bruised throughout the whole season of the Elite so far, 0-5. So this is something at least against 705 Esports. And now let's see if they can ride this wave. Going into the next map, as I'm going to take a look at what map we have coming up next. It's going to be another Tuscan. As I remember
Tuscan.
Sport was telling me in the break, we got a Bokash sandwich right now, and the Tuscan is the 3 maps in between. So we got a Tuscan and a Bokash if this goes the distance, and it looks like we're going to take a look at that right now. And honestly, after what I saw from that control out of Valor Esports, I'm a fan of this map for Tuscan.
I am too. I'm still going to be honest, though. I'm a little bit worried still for Valor. The way that we saw them outslay inside of that map number 1 on that Bocage, and the fact that they lost that map as badly as they did, worries me a lot for that Tuscan hardpoint. I won't lie to you, Colin. Just because when you look at that map, I mean, Bocage is one of those maps where if you do get a lot of kills, it doesn't always mean the most. But I mean, Tuscan too. I mean, if 705 was just doing all the right things on the map, and that was what was stopping Valor from being able to win, even though they were outslaying them like crazy, if that is the case, and we go to this hardpoint on Tuscan, I mean, it's even harder on a map like Tuscan where you can get those full setups to be able to run away with things and be able to shut things down. So we'll have to see. It could play 2 different ways. It could play the way of Valor outslays them like crazy again, and because they're outslaying them like crazy, it makes their rotations that much easier. Or it could be the opposite of that, and 705 can honestly kind of bring this lane back into their favor, along with playing systematic hardpoint, and be able to walk away with it because of that. But it just looked like in map number 1 that 705 were just that little bit ahead of them in terms of rotating inside of the hardpoint.
And you can wrap it with a whole bow in saying that Valor Esports just haven't been able to find that kind of push through their ceiling to win a series. So ultimately, they still have something to prove going into this 4th map, a hard point. So we're going to see if they can get this one done. And that Bokash map number 5, if they get there, Jesse, I mean, that search and destroy inside that map number 2, they lose it 6-3 on Tuscan. And realistically, when you're looking at those numbers as well and the way that they were playing inside that hard point, I mean, it's still going to be a tough game if this does go to that map 5.
It will be a tough game. And when I look overall at their 2 kind of map counts, if you're 705, you want to get this done here. 0-5 in search and destroy up before that game number 2. So they do end up winning out on that one earlier on today. But before that, had not won a search and destroy yet inside of Challengers Elite Stage 3. So, I mean, it's one of those things you're like, oh no, if you're Valor East, if you're 705, because I don't really think you want to take another search and destroy the way that you've been playing them a lot of the time this season.
No, and I feel like that stat just completely fell out of my head. There's so many stats to be keeping track of with all 3 of these matches.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking into 3 matches. You're fair.
But I'm sitting there, I'm just like, okay, Valor Esports, you know, you weren't looking good at that map number 2, but 705 Esports, they haven't looked good on search and destroy either. So this is a chance. You know, a chance for Valor Esports to at least get 1 dub under their belt before the night ends. And I mean, Tuscan Hardpoint, it's not going to be the easiest thing, but I think this team can get it done, Jesse. So as these teams kind of get things going, I wouldn't mind, you know, hearing about the rest of this game, because on the main on the mainstream, I was saying, I'm trying to jumbled all right now. I'm trying to get things going for this one, and we're looking at the mainstream as well between Toronto Ultra NA and Electrify Steel. 250 to 175 on that map 1 Berlin. They went out the Bokash as well, but it's going to a map 4 because Electrify Steel, they're going toe-to-toe with them. They went out on that Gavatu. So, folks, if we're looking to pick up on that information, go to the mainstream on the Challengers channel of Call of Duty. And that's going to be casted by Proper and Brody. So, looking to be a good one over there as well. But it looks like we're hopping into this map 4, Jesse. Tuscan Hardpoint.
Yeah, and it's going to be 705 Esports up against Valor here. 705 could put the series away here. Valor looking to extend us all the way to that map number 5 and making us have to go the full distance inside of a final search and destroy here. But 705 will be the first team inside of hill number 1. They get a good chunk of time off the rip here of 10 seconds, but it's Yeez once again on the flank looking to make some damage.
Again, a big break off from some huge slayers in map number 3. Phantoms looking for the third. Reed's classic, but can't win the gunfight. That's an auto versus an MP40 all day long. I'm going to take that MP40, but big help from Persini to keep 705 in control of this early time. It's 21-3 so far off this break off before we're seeing some semblance of a break come through. But again, it's shut down. It's Royalty and Classic making it happen.
I know you said you want to take that MP40. I think that Persini will take that.
He will.
We'll take that that automaton all day long here, especially with 30 bullets inside of it. Now we're seeing already the damage that can do just having those extra 5 bullets inside of that clip, but it's a great start here for 705 off the start of this game. 40-5 off the lead, and now heading in towards our second hill. We will have Valor, the first team here, first team set up, but 705 with the break through the back coming in, they're looking to try to at least pull these spawns, and they very much so should have with those couple kills.
Finally, some time under the hands of Valor Esports, looking to cut down this lead. Yeez comes to the rescue, takes it down Classic. Now all attention to the back line as you see searching on forward. 705 trying to get the break, but they can't make it happen. Yeez and DiamondCon stump that effort. Now 30 seconds picked up off this second hill, and it is still not done yet. They're completely pinning back 705 into this back spawn of Church, and you're not picking up time right now as 705 just looking for an exit strategy, Jesse, but this has been a successful hill out of Valor.
Oh, for sure. This is where things get a little bit dangerous, too, if you're 705. I mean, you try to make that big push in through to get those back spawns, but if you don't get those back spawns, or if you don't get inside of the hill while having those back spawns, you're pretty much just trapped in the back, and that's what we saw for the majority of that hill, and it just makes an easy rotation as well for Valor to get from that P2 hill all the way over towards Fountain, set up here for P3, and now if you're 705, you need to focus again and try to make another break, but this time you won't have those back spawns, and it needs to be from the front.
An easy thing to make happen. Royalty all alone. Slides on into the hill. It's the backup from Phantoms to cut him down. Now again, 705 just looking for some momentum from the front of the hill. But here comes Yeez from the top ropes. Brasini welcomes him with open arms and gives him a little bit of a punch to the face. Still inside this hill. Valor holding on strong. Keeping 705 at arm's length away from touching on into it. We're going to get a lead change, Jesse, into this third hill as Valor Esports, they have been fantastic ever since that first hill.
And I can't see 705 taking another shot at trying to break this. Maybe you send one more player just to make things awkward here, but you can't lose out on another rotation here to Valor. And it's going to be Dylan Rex trying to be that player to win the rotation over. He will find the 5th in a row before falling. But unfortunately, you don't get anything for 5 in a row, and there you go, 705. They find all the kills through middle of the map, and this will open up a good opportunity now to find a good chunk of time here at P3.
Rex is on the case. Exotic on the opposite side. Classic, what a win there. That is the auto, Jesse. Up close and personal, like you said. Taking a little bit of a note from Pristini's book as Valor's still looking for the break. He's unstoppable on the inside. Tries to snap around the outside, take down DiamondCon, but he is going to find his end there. Luckily, Valor still reigning true inside his hill. It's Rex to find 3 in a row. He pulls out the MP40, and look at that. Finds the break.
Yeah, absolutely finds the break. You still do have the close spawns if you're 705, but it looks like Valor has just read those spawns perfectly as they just pick them off one at a time coming off spawn. Exotic is putting in God's work right now inside of the Church, absolutely raining things down. And Valor Esports continues to just run this score up. And if you're 705, you can't even take another shot at this. It is time to just chalk it up, rotate across the hill, and try to get a good setup here for the 4th hill.
Well, you do send Classic MIA to hit that hill. Not going to find a whole lot other than a 1 kill. And the rotation will be 705, picking up time early. Valor looking to get something going for this break. All the eyes on Patio. Yeez caught in the crossfire. Rex, they know he's here too. The pre-fire from DiamondCon can't get the job done. It's going to be 2 the other way. So even into the hill for the break, Jesse. Rex looking to heal up. Stunned out. Classic on the crossfire. Front line, though. It's big shots coming out from Pristini. Royalty's going to chime in for one of his own. Finds a second inside. Classic coming to help to clear out the last one. But Phantoms has a pistol. And he's not giving up just yet. Nade from DiamondCon to take down Royalty. And heartbreaking from 705 on the rotation to P5.
Oh, it was looking so good, but Valor, I think that we're seeing the slaying prowess on this map really take a big hit on this 705 team. It's making it very, very tough for them to be able to really kind of break into any of these hills. Valor is just doing a great job, and this is going to be the back 10 seconds again, going to the way of Valor Esports. And now we go over towards P1. This is the hill where what we saw 705 get, 50 seconds in the first set of rotations on. They absolutely need to find that same amount of success here in the second set of rotations if they want to bring themselves back into this game. Because honestly, since that P1, it has been all Valor Esports.
Oh, it has, and it's because Rex 19-9, Jesse. Big numbers from a big influential player into this hill. Phantom's looking for the flank. Big read out of DiamondCon. All eyes on the front of the hill as you see Rex and Yeez residing. Waiting for their teammates to get in. They don't want to lose out on those rotations here, but you find 2 big kills. That's going to search forward as they fly. Looking for the rest of them. That's forward down. Only losing out on Rex. Big break from Valor.
It just feels like we've been saying that hill after hill. 705 sets up. Valor knocks them down and gets a big break inside of the hill here once again. Classic will be the only player really inside of the hill to contest. Will end up falling. You do get some help, though, from the teammates at the very end just to be able to break your way through. and the back 10 seconds here should go the way of 705 Esports. But now here comes the hard part. All of these hills in the last set of rotations were controlled by Valor, setting up early or breaking inside of the hill early and getting an easy setup here. But it's still only a 20-point game. You're absolutely still in this if you're 705.
Look at that classic on Shreen, trying to get things going. He's going to drop, but Royalty to pick up where he left off. 2 kills going their way. Shots at the Phantoms. Prestini looking to clean up, and he will. Big kills out of 705. It's going to get them into this hill now. Jesse looking to cut down this lead ever so slowly. Royalty, another one. He's on 3 in a row. Inside of this hill, soaking up time now. Valor still spawning up into the back, but now the power positions of these ARs set up and thriving for 705 to just pick away at Valor. There's going to be a break for a moment, so Valor now looking to get into this hill. Rex the beatdown with the classic. Royalty on 4 in a row. Can he find 5? They line up, but he can't find the second. It's big kills out of Royalty to keep that time ticking their way. And now the scrap time can even this game up. It's going to be Prestini trying to pick up the rest.
Massive adjustment from 705 inside of this set of rotations. Instead of hitting through the top side of Church and taking the back spawns away from Valor, they decide, hey, you know what? Let's hit this one from the front. Just not allow Valor to really walk away with a significant amount of time. In fact, they split the time as it's still only a 20-point lead here for Valor heading now in towards our Fountain Hill. And it allows them to get the rotation over towards Fountain as well. But no, unfortunately, Classic pushes forward, doesn't see the player slip the line, and now Valor gets a spawn in the back. And that is just so unfortunate and a big break from Valor.
We saw how strong they were in the first set of rotations, Jesse. Flawless so far into the second. For the break into this Fountain Hill is nothing but Valor in the success zone. Big kill at Prestini should open up an avenue now to break. Diamond on the pinch, Royalty from the staircase. All players on different avenues of routes, all finding their wins as well. It's the trades back and forth from Valor trying to slip away into this hill again, but Diamond, he knows where they are. He's going to fly forward. Rex punishes. Off the respawn, Valor trying to get back into this hill. Phantom's leading the charge. He has some backup as well. You got Exotic on the case 2 for the flank, and the rotation over to P4 as well. So a lot right now in the minds of Valor Esports for this rotation.
Exotic's in a great spot to pull these spawns. As soon as the hill pops, should look to maybe fly forward and find a few kills here. Should be able to get those spawns to go back into their favor, but unfortunately, just doesn't find the right kill at the right time, and it's going to allow 705 to continue to hold on to those back spawns until you see Dylan Rex pick up that kill. Now there's might be an opportunity once again to fly forward and get those spawns.
Some big kills from 705, but they have a lot more to go through. Exotic leaving now DiamondCon out of this hill. The breaks can come through from Valor. They eclipse the 200-point marker. Big win at Rex again. 30 and 17. He's doing it all with this submachine gun. And as you're 705 Esports, this is desperation at this point. You need to hit this hill. You need to stop Valor from picking up this time. You just cannot even step foot into it.
.705 is just not in a great spot here. This has just not been very good. Every chance that Valor has to be able to break inside of the hill, they have absolutely taken and ran away with. It has just not been good enough here inside of this map for 705, and now only 20 seconds left needed for Valor to close that one out. And it's a great opportunity to do it here on this P5 hill, which they just absolutely controlled in the last set of rotations.
Another 3 down, looking for 4th, but Diamondcon hops in with a 2-piece, keeping things out of the hands for Valor for a few seconds, but back into the hill they go. 9 seconds to close out this map. Send us the distance to a Bokosh again, Jesse, and look at the kills, still yellow from Valor. Prestini has to get into the hill, 9 HP, he gets cleaned up, and Valor send us the distance. We are going to a mat 5.
That's really dangerous for 705 as well, because like we said, coming into today, 0-5 S&D record, not where they want to be. Not exactly sure what happened to their first series of the day. I can go back and take a quick little look at it, and yeah, they did not win a search and destroy earlier on today. So what, 1-6 because they won the first one in this series earlier on. They'll need to find a way to do that again inside of Bocage Search and Destroy, which is coming up next. But it just feels like Valor, all the momentum is in their favor after a very rough first 2 maps. And I mean, an extremely rough map one where they completely outslayed 705 but lost the map. They win map number, or they lose map number 2 as well to go down in the series. But then a 3-0 followed by that nasty win there inside of that hard point where they just never felt like they were out of it. It feels like all the momentum right now is in the favor of Valor.
All the slaying, the momentum, the wins. We go all the way to a map 5, and let's take a look at what made it happen inside the scoreboard. Already, I gotta say it, Dylan Rex, 33 and 18, 3,900 damage. He was a menace inside of that map, Jesse.
Oh, and Colin, I don't know if you remember or not, but earlier on today, like when we were talking about this Valor roster, I believe it was in our first series, I was bringing up the fact that Brasini and you've got a couple of guys on this team where you have Pristini and you have Classic, who I feel like are two more streaky players. While Pristini in map number 1 was really, really good. I feel like he was probably their best player. 15 and 29 here in this last map. That is just not good enough for a submachine gun on Tuscan. You need to be putting up numbers if you want to be walking away with the game. We saw Neptune inside of the control on Tuscan in our last series as well, just absolutely tearing things up with the submachine gun. You need to be popping off inside of that map to be able to find success for yourself. And honestly, Pristini putting up 15 and 29 is just not enough inside of that map there. So we'll just have to see what they can do. Unfortunately, they don't end up walking away with the win there. And it's going to leave us going towards a Bocage S&D to close things off. And honestly, it's really up in the air for me on who's going to be able to take this one.
I mean, it's two very hot and cold teams so far across season 3. You can see it inside the records. You can see it inside the streamed matches. So I'm right alongside you, Jesse. I have no clue whatsoever on who's going to take this final map. But folks, while we get these teams ready into this map 5, we're going to cut to a break and get these players lobbied up. And when we come back, it's going to be the finisher inside our Challenger stream. One map left to Bokash. Search and destroy. Is it going to be a reverse sweep from Valor, or can 705 put it away? Jesse, we're hopping on board already with round number 1. And Phantoms, he's wondering where his teammates went.
Well, that's exactly the start that you need if you're 705, though. You had a terrible last 2 maps, so you know what? You come out, you win your first round here. Exactly what you need to start things off for 705 Esports. And Valor, I mean, they're going to want to answer back after this round. With 1 back into their favors, Game 5s are always really, really tough. And did I just see that right? Was that a first-round ace out of DiamondCon?
I'm guessing we'll get that answered shortly. Yeah, you're right. 4-round ace. From
Okay.
DiamondCon right off the rip, as we do have our names swapped around on the top. There we go. Fixed out. Shout out to Sport for getting that done. But hopping on with the offensive round here now, 705. Can they look as good as they did on their defenses? It looks like, you know, minimap is blocked, but we have an aggressive forward hold from Yeez over towards A. And if 705 aren't ready for that, could be punished.
They definitely could. But it doesn't look like it's too bad yet. They're just playing really passive at the moment. Nobody really wanting to kind of fly forward, put a foot wrong yet. And Valor is just holding their line right now. I love this play out of Valor, just making the offense come to them. And it's working out really, really well because now there's only 49 seconds left, and 705 are going to need to make a decision on what they want to do with this bomb.
Time's ticking away. Not much guessing on what to do. And this is when Yeez's positioning can go so big if unchecked. 705, they need to be ready for him to be in that positioning, but yet to strike still. 4-on-4, Jesse, 30 seconds left. Things are getting a little bit tense inside Bokash for the second round. At some point, somebody's got to make a move. Royalty finally going to push out the back to be first blood traded out. Bomb down now, 21 seconds. 3 go down instantly for Valor. Classic has to get this bomb. Where's Rex? He's up top. They know where he is, but they have to get this bomb down, Jesse. They can't just play for the kill, as Rex is going to wrap around all the way into the back line, completely missing out timing onto both of them. But he's playing his life right now. 1v2, bomb down.
Rex took a guess, and he guessed wrong, unfortunately. And now going to push underneath the tunnel. Will catch out DiamondCon, but no, DiamondCon with the ice absolutely smokes him. I don't know how many kills DiamondCon is on now, but he had an ace in round number 1. Closes this out here, and actually that will be his only kill of the round. But 5 in a row to start the game off here. Valor Esports. Starting to, Valor Esports, 705 Esports, really starting to kind of bring it back into their favor.
Well, nonetheless, still a strong start from our fellow Canadian, Jesse. So hats off to
You love to see it.
for bringing it back. Going into this next round, I'd like to see Valor Esports slow it down a little bit. You know, 705 got super aggressive throughout their last defense. You might be able to catch them getting a little bit too over-aggressive. And it looks like that was the case, although Prestini, Hail Mary shots, and Royalty doubles down. Oh no.
It just feels like 705's plan right now is just to fly forward, pick all these players off that they can. And once again, Phantoms, like round number 1, just wondering where the teammates are.
Come on, guys.
And they just group up completely together. I love this play from 705. They're playing so annoying right now.
It's just like a herd of buffalo running through the map right now. It's terrifying. You don't want to walk in front of it. And 705 Esports, they're just tearing up anything that's in their way. It's practically the rumbling, if you ask me.
They really got to try to make sure they give this last go to DiamondCon, though. You really want to just kind of bait for him here to get him on the 6 in a row.
Ooh.
And don't even have to bait. DiamondCon is shooting absolute beams at the moment. And we'll find his 6th in a row sitting on top tank. And a 3-0 lead here for 705. I mean, I don't know what they did from week 1 to now or inside of this match. But some reason finding their stride inside of Search and Destroy against Valor Esports.
What a start. 3-0 already from 705. This is a team that hasn't looked the best in Search and Destroy, but against Valor Esports, they just have their numbers so far, Jesse. So Valor, a lot to pick up now inside the Search and Destroy. And realistically, on your offenses, you need to slow down on your defenses. You need to start clutching up in some of their gunfights because 705 are getting away with a lot. And already you see a trade from Classic and Phantoms. Prestini keeping the numbers in favor of 705. Royalty on a mission inside of Grandma's. And already last alive is going to be Yeez. Another 1v3 immediately shut down by 705.
705 have just decided, hey, you know what? We let Valor just bully us for 2 straight maps. Let's just bring the aggression to them and fight absolutely everything that we can right now. And it's working out perfectly for them, Colin. They're up 4-0. They're big chilling at the moment. They don't have a worry in the world Unfortunately for them, though, inside of that last round, Diamondcon played extremely slowly, a little bit too passive with how aggressive the rest of his teammates were. And unfortunately, still only on 6 in a row. But honestly, at this point, you're up 4-0. Who really cares whether you get streaks or not? But it would be nice just to be able to get them, just to kind of guarantee yourself that opportunity to be able to walk away with the win here.
Oh, through the window. Was that classic? See if you can catch somebody early. Diamondcon's still 6-0 on screen. We get to take a look at that, but it's going to be classic for first blood right away. You can see Royalty pivots around, going to shoot shots onto Rex, looking to clean him up. He will. In through the door. It's going to be Exotic for the trade, and at least keeping things a little bit interesting, although Classic doesn't want to make it too interesting, as he's going to clean up Exotic, and Pristine, he's going to close the door on that round. 7-0-5 are bullies, and this is just mean.
This is really just mean. Unfortunately, Pristini gets a little greedy here. Doesn't let that kill go to Diamondcon. I saw him sneaking up from behind. I know it's 5-0, Colin. I know it's 5-0. But you still would have liked to have had that streak. And you can still get it here, but it's just one of those spots where, like, if you don't end up getting the streak now. No, but if you don't end up getting the streak now, and Valor brings this one back, you'll look back at those rounds and really, really regret it. But I'm not going to harp on that too hard here.
Honestly,
we'll see how the rest of this one goes. Yeah, they're up 5-0. I mean,
I think
it's going to be pretty
take
hard
a lot
to lose
more
this
than
one.
losing a streak to lose this game.
Okay, dude. Okay. My bad.
But they're looking good, man. I mean, this is just rude. In the last game of the series, Pristini's not missing either.
He is
big shots on the
beaming
Phantoms.
right now.
That was a 32 and maybe 15 Phantoms back on control as well. So Phantoms getting absolute put in the dirt inside of this last game as well. Already with a life advantage. You see that bomb rotating over to the A site. Yeez gives away his positioning, hopping up. Oh, doesn't spot out this time. He's going to be eaten through the door. Royalty cleaning him up. 2v4. Rex at least pulls one back, but damage, Jesse. I mean, this is a lot of damage to come back from.
There has been zero play inside of this map in terms of actually playing the objective and getting this bomb down and trying to win rounds. And actually, I think we saw one bomb plant before this one, but the bomb will go down over at B. Rex will end up falling, and now it's just Exotic in the 35th 1v3 of this game number 6.
It's not even 35 rounds, Jesse, but I'm right with you. It feels like it. Big shots on the Diamondcon, at least going to shut down that streak. 1v2, though. Watch out Pristini as well. Peeks on out, 1v1.
Oh, no.
Royalty last alive. Where is he? He's on the hunt. He's right behind him. 19 seconds left, and he's just going to take the fight right to him. In behind, it's going to be Royalty closing out on the round. 7-0-5 esports. 6-0 sweep inside the search and destroy. Avoiding a reverse sweep and making it look damn good in the searches.
Yeah, I really don't know what to think about that map. 7-0-5. 0-5 on coming into the day of search and destroy.
I think
0-6 if you count their loss earlier on today. I mean, they were going up against Valor, who was 2-5 coming into this map. But to walk away with both inside of this and now be 2-6 and just as well as you just played, I mean, it is that is some pretty ridiculous stuff how that final map just went down. Diamondcon, absolutely a crazy map out of the man himself. Really slowed down in the last couple rounds, but didn't matter because you had Pristini beaming everything. So, I mean, just a fantastic game out of 7-0-5 there.
Yeah, I feel like if we pulled a player away for an interview after that game, Jesse, they'd be like, you know, we just decided we're just done playing it slow. We just want to take the gunfights. We're better than them. So they just show us, I mean, how good they are. Inside of those one-on-ones, when they push on that pressure, they look so good. And honestly, it's a little unfair. I feel bad for the guys over in Valor for what just happened.
I mean, I feel like if 7-0-5 played with that amount of confidence every single game, this team would be a completely different team. But they don't play with that confidence all the time. And I don't think I've seen this team look better than what I just seen inside of that Bocage Search and Destroy. I would love to see this team. I'm not 100% on whether or not they're going to get relegated yet. I mean, going into this one, what were they, 1-4? So maybe an opportunity, but I doubt it.
1-3 going into this.
1-3 coming into this map. So, I mean, there's still that opportunity, but it's going to be tough for them to not be relegated at this point, now improving to 2-3. So we'll just have to wait and see tomorrow. I'm sure we'll get our final answers on that one here.
2-4 after the day.
2-4 on the day. Okay. So, I mean, maybe a chance if you win tomorrow and somebody else loses. We'll have to see how everything shakes out. We obviously don't have all of these stats on hand at the moment. It's just, yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things for 7-0-5. If they play that confident all the time, I think this team could find a lot more success. But unfortunately, just not able to find that same consistency all the time that we've seen there inside of that final map.
I don't know, Jesse. I mean, that last little bocage, I don't think you'd be able to play like that against other teams instead of this elite stage. So maybe if you pull out confidence like that, you can find it. We saw that a little bit in their first series that we were casting with them, that when they were fighting fire with fire and just being full aggressive on their offenses, it was working out. It's just the adjustments coming up from that other team were making sure that they were always one step ahead of 705. So, I mean, I love the confidence that's spewing out from him. It makes it happen in that Game 5 and completely catches Valor Esports, you know, questioning on if they were actually prepared for that map 5 against 705. But, I mean, Steven still, I mean, they have a lot to prove going into the next 8 days against other teams inside of this season 3, and that's gonna be it for the day from our challengers stream for Clutch GG. I mean, Jesse, I'm gonna ask you before we close things out, I mean, anything to take away really from today?
Neptune's nasty, and he's going to be back in the league at some point. Mark my words.
Okay,
That's all I'm saying.
Right there. He said it right there. I agree with you. I think whatever it takes is definitely my favorite so far going into this season 3, as well as it looks like they just get better and better. It's not even just the roster that I like, Jesse. It's the branding too. Whatever it takes is like my favorite branding.
I mean, just the way they play together too. They just look really, really good. I'm really excited to watch how this team progresses throughout the rest of this Challenger season. I hope that they stay together too after even this season. Like if they don't win everything this stage, I hope they just stay together and keep clicking, unless of course a couple of them get called up to the majors, which I mean, it's very possible that it could happen again. I mean, I could definitely see Neptune filling in on multiple CDL rosters right now and still being a very, very effective player. Just needs to be able to buy into a system and play around Neptune the way that he plays, because there's no question that he's extremely good at this game. I just think that maybe subliners just weren't the right fit for him, and I hope that he's able to find his way back in for sure.
A lot of people are definitely going to be looking forward to that, but folks, it's going to be the close for day 3 here for the Clutch stream. We're going to be back tomorrow for Europe in the morning again, same time, same place as today, last day of regular season. You don't want to miss it. We'll see you tomorrow.